This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city right. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
Singing this just to welcome bro.
Are y'all ready for a little tour time? I'm your host, Stephen D. And this is Chaos. This is Wildin' Out Monday. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Victory Monday here. I want to say good morning to my family and my Finlaws. It is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere online at Miami Sports Music, except on Twitter, where we are at MIA Sports Music. Also want to remind you, too, to hit the like button. No, seriously, hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. I don't know what you're doing. Just make sure you hit the like button, please. Hit it. Tap it. Whatever you got to do to it. Just make sure you do it, okay? Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I don't know what you're doing. You can't get in the chat. You can't hang out and talk with us in the chat if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. All right. It helps the channel grow. It helps us grow. Let's go. Let's go. Also, want to remind you all too to sign up to become a member today. There are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. Signing up to become a member today does a lot of things. #1, you get to become an exclusive part of the family. That's right. You get to do that. You also get to get exclusive perks and stuff and first access to new items when they drop, DWA items. Solo D's got some new stuff dropping here before the start of the season, so be on the lookout for that. We got a lot of cool things, so make sure you guys check that out. Sign up to become part of a member, become part of the family today. Also, hey, look, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. You can also use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or Cash App, which is also MSM Podcast Network. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. They got everything. Zachary's going to take care of you. He's absolutely amazing. We love Zachary and ZSM Sports. Lime, less is more events. Lime tickets, they are actually absolutely amazing. You need tickets to any of the hottest things, events, games, whatever, in the country. Call Lime today. They have tickets for less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun, giving you exclusive access to the hottest events all across the country. Give them a call, 202-930-3533 to get a personalized experience today. Make sure you guys do that. And then last but certainly not least, Tailgreeter. Download the app today on your current Crapple or Apple, whatever you got, Crapple, Apple, or Android device. Just make sure you do that today. Man, we got a lot of stuff to go through. It's absolutely amazing. We're going to talk, full day of pads today. We're going to talk the impact that Vic Fangio is already having on the team. We're going to talk Eli Apple signing. We're going to talk about the running back market. We're going to talk about Zach Thomas's Hall of Fame week. It is Victory Monday, and we're revamping the show here, making things bigger, badder, and better. And that means I have a co-host on Mondays now. So let me bring him in from the Fins Tailgate, my brother from another mother. I love this man, Mr. Lewis, a.k.a. Rabid Dolphin.
Appreciate it, Stephen. What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, man? You we don't get to see you much on the camera, but that's going to change on Mondays. Now you're getting things set up, and by the time the season starts, you're going to be in full swing, baby. You're going to be ready to go.
Getting things ready. We're doing a test run today, but this is another office in the house. But during the season, I got some big plans in the works, man. So I'm super excited about it.
Me too, man. Everybody wants to hear you say, "That's Cap."
That's Cap. We know it's Cap.
Oh, man. So what'd you do this weekend, man? Before we get into everything, how was your weekend? What'd you do?
It was good. Yesterday, went to my mom's house, took the kids over there,
Mama
went
Dukes.
swimming, and went to go visit Mama Dukes a little bit, go swimming and barbecue and hang out. So,
Oh, maybe
and
you
then
ate good too.
ate good. And this is part of my weekend. I got Sunday and Mondays off. So I'm
Life is
still in
good.
weekend
And, you get
mode.
and now you're going to be spending your Mondays here with me. I like it. I like it a lot. At least your
Well,
Monday mornings anyway.
Monday mornings.
So I went out, shout out to Ryan Keeling. He's one of my best friends. He's the president of the Valley Fanatics Doll Fan Club out in West Virginia. So about an hour and 52 minutes away from me, according to Google GPS. So I went over to his house this weekend and celebrated his birthday. And that was pretty awesome. We had kebabs and lots of drinking went on. And then we went to an adult. I had never been to an adult establishment in West Virginia. So you guys know how I am about the adult establishments. And let me just say, it's no Tootsies. I'm just going to throw that out there. West Virginia's clubs and Miami clubs,
A little different.
just a little different. Okay. just a tad bit different. But yeah, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And then while I was there, I want to give a big shout out to Caleb. Caleb is part of the Valley Fanatics and lives in West Virginia himself, and he's awesome. So he's there at the party. A couple of other Dolphins fans were, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to Zach Thomas's Hall of Fame thing this weekend, and Ryan is going too. And I wasn't planning on going at all because, number one, got a lot of stuff going on. I got to save all the money I can. And then all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? I had somebody back out at the last second. It's already paid for. Do you want to come? I was like, well, I can't really afford it. He's like, it's already paid for. You got a place to stay. You got a ticket to all the events, the Hall of Fame induction, everything. You just got to show up. And so I looked at Ryan and I was like, I need to call my wife. So I called my wife up and I was like, hey, I already know I'm spending a whole weekend with Ryan this weekend, but next weekend is Zach Thomas's induction. She's like, just go. Before I could just go have fun.
Yes.
I was like, let's go, baby. Love it.
That's
so
awesome,
I'm going to be at Zach Thomas's Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Saturday.
Let's go.
I'm excited about it, man. I'm so stoked. I wanted to go to Jason Taylor's years ago, and I know how cool it was, but I'm super stoked about it, man, because he was such a big integral part of my childhood as a Dolphins fan, and
Absolutely.
he was so good, And it was cool seeing the video of him at training camp this week.
Oh, hyping up the crowd and stuff, getting everybody ready to go, man. It was great. It was great seeing them back in the building for sure.
Yeah, so I will be in the building in Canton on Saturday to see him getting his induction, and he's the first person getting inducted, so I don't have to sit there for 5 hours.
Right off the bat.
Listen to everybody. I could just go for him, and as a matter of fact, no lie, I called up Richmond Webb. Shout out to Richmond. I was like, hey, so I'm going to be in Canton on Saturday. And so we started talking. So hopefully we'll get to see each other out there. He's going to be out there too. And he's like, is he the first one being inducted? I was like, yeah. He's like, that means it's not going to be as hot for 5 hours. I was like, you're right. I had the same thought, Richmond. Me and Richmond definitely had the same thought. Man, I'm so stoked about it. But I hate that the Jets are playing the Thursday night game this weekend.
It's ridiculous. It's going to be flooded with Jet fans there. It's going to. That's the worst. Damn Jet fans.
I know, it's insane. We got a lot of people out at training camp today. I see some people in the chat. Maria says she's there from training camp. Papa Paul says, I'll be at training camp all week. I know Jason Sarni is there this morning, and I should be getting a call in from Jason here soon. So, matter of fact, I got to text him the link. But yeah, man, we're going to get some live hits from training camp this week. I'm pretty stoked about that. Have you hit up training camp yet? Are you planning on going?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go. I haven't figured out days yet, but I'm going to figure out. Batman has extra tickets. I'm going to probably get with him.
Shout out to Batman. You went to training camp last year, right?
I did not.
Didn't you go one year when it was like the Buccaneers in the practice against us?
No, that was down here in Tampa. I was supposed to meet TD down there last year, but I didn't.
You never showed up. You stood TD up.
Listen, man, I got to work, Steven. All right, duty calls, man. Duty was.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Duty was calling. I couldn't do it.
I hear you, man. I ain't mad at you. Let me say hello to the people in the chat. Kane's 1989 was the first person up in here this morning. Trucker Sean, 1981. Manalo's up in here. Good morning. Adam Sadowski. Let's go Marlins, man. Let's go, man. And my Orioles, too. Took 2 or 3 from New York this weekend. I ain't mad.
Y'all need to stop the cap. Slow down. There's one team in baseball. It's the Tampa Bay Rays.
Trade deadline's, what is it, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. tomorrow? Something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be good times. Moya TV, Trucker Sean. Wayne D says, yo, Cook is coming home, LOL. We're going to get into all the running back talk, Lewis and I, this morning. We got a lot to talk about. Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, that Thomas hype to crowd was fire. Yeah, no doubt. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. For sure.
Christopher Wheeler says, hello from Ohio. I'm going to say, Christopher, are you going this week? Are you going to see Zach Thomas get inducted? Because I'll be there on Saturday. Get to meet you, hopefully. Shake Money says, good morning, my neighbors. It's another beautiful day in
Zamunda. Shout out to Shake.
Let's see here. Dolphineer is up in the building. Raul said that's Cap. Always y'all with that Cap. DDG is in the building. There's this guy. Maybe you've heard of him. Dade County WAP. You know that guy.
I don't know who that is.
You've never heard of that guy a day in your life.
Never heard
Dade County WAP fella.
No, I know he must not be a big deal. I know that. Whoever he is, he's not a big deal.
He's not a big deal at all. Roadrunner is in the building. Mudbone. Beijing King. I don't know. Is there an inside joke with that? Beijing King. I don't know.
Yeah, he says my beard is painted on. So
he said it's painted on?
Yeah, he says I go and get Beijing. This is all natural. Just for you guys to know.
All I can think of right there is Major League 3 Back to the Minors when he's like, that's fake. And he's like, no, it's real. See, it's real, you dumbass. And he's got his hair all messed up. And everybody's laughing at him. That was Lewis. It's real. I promise you, it's real. Look, he's probably pulling it and everything.
I'm gonna just have to show Dade. Dade said he's gonna come hang out with us a couple times at the tailgate.
Tailgate.
So
you're gonna have a good time. You gotta come.
We are gonna have a good time.
Let me say hello to a couple more people up in here. Ryan AP, JD, the great one, is in here. Till Dog 12. Hopefully them wet fans are crying Thursday because Cook has signed with the Fins. It's gonna be crazy. Flava J is in the building. Marino's GOAT. Ryan AP said, I should be at training camp next weekend with the fam. With the family.
No, that's nice.
It gets hot, man. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Dade County said that's Cat to you. Tampa Bay Rays are the Buffalo Bills of Major League Baseball. Nothing in the trophy case.
Whoa, let's slow down. Yeah, let's calm that down.
Wow. Them fighting words, Shake.
Yeah,
you're over here getting don't get Lewis all riled up, man. Don't get Lewis all riled up.
It's trying to be peaceful Monday, man.
It's peaceful Monday. There ain't no peaceful Mondays up here. You know that. All right, let's get into the first news of the weekend. So I'm hanging out at the barbecue, having a good time on Saturday, and all of a sudden I come through. It comes through the wire that Eli Apple signs with the Miami Dolphins to provide depth for the team. What was your first thoughts when you saw this weekend about Eli Apple signing with the Dolphins, Lewis?
That Tyreek was about to go off. That was my first thought. But no, man, listen, I think Chris Greer, I think he's not going to get caught like they were last year. The injury bug touched that secondary last year. And, I think Eli Apple is a good move, man. He's not the best corner. He's not the most flashy. I don't think he's coming in here to be cornerback 1 to replace Ramsey. But I just think he's a guy that comes with veteran leadership. Listen, played in Cincinnati. He's been to an AFC Championship game and a Super Bowl. Just to have that experience in the building, I'm not going to be mad at the move. Was there other guys maybe we could have looked at? Obviously, absolutely. But there has to be some kind of comfort level with Eli Apple. So, I mean, for me, Steven, I don't hate the move, man. I think it's good.
I think it would be too. I think it would be pretty awesome. I think Eli Apple. So McDaniel had this to say about Eli Apple today. He goes, quote, I think more often than not, my vision for players is to give them as many competitive opportunities and let them tell me who they are. And we talk about it all the time on here, Lewis, and on any platform for that matter, that competition breeds competition. And bringing in somebody like Eli Apple, is he great? No. but is he somebody that's going to provide depth and provide, look, he's been a starter in this league. I want to say he's been a Pro Bowler. I think he's been a Pro Bowler.
I'm not sure.
Somebody confirm that for me or not, but he's played at a high level no matter what. He's played in New York. He's played in Cincinnati. I want to say he's also played in New Orleans. So, he's played in a few different places for some good teams and some bad teams, right? So I think that at the end of the day, bringing him in here does nothing else but provide more depth. Now, I have to tell you, when I saw this and started seeing things, I'm like, all right, well, Trill Williams is coming off an injury. Jalen's out till December.
Nick Needham's on the pup list.
Needham's on the pup list. By the way, just a little side note, Isaiah Wynn came off the pup list yesterday. But yeah, Nick Needham's on the pup list. And I was like, well, looks like Noah could make the team. And I'm telling you right now, Lewis, you know how I feel about this. If Noah Igbenogany finds his way on this roster, I'm going to lose my mind, bro. I'm going to lose it.
You're not excited for Noah, though?
I'm not excited for Noah. I'm not at all.
You don't think Noah in this scheme, right, with him now facing the quarterback, just, watching a certain zone and not chasing a certain player, you don't think Noah could fit this scheme very well?
I will be very disappointed. Look, here's the reality of the situation, right? Like, we don't know what Fangio is going to do. Let's get into kind of Vic Fangio, because it's a good segue into that conversation. For the first 3 days of training camp, the defense has excelled tremendously. There's been a lot of bright spots on the defense. And, there's also been, with that same thing being said, there's also been conversations that some of the defensive players are having a difficult time understanding his concept of what he's trying to do, because every day he's running something different. So how do you have these great plays? The defense is doing good, but you're getting some of this as a reaction that some of the players might be struggling with the schemes that Fangio is running. But we clearly see the offense having a difficult. I mean, what is Vic Fangio doing that I would think, and I think you agree with me, it looks like it's working well down there, at least the first 3 or 4 days. Today's the first full day of pads, so we'll obviously see a little bit more.
Listen, I absolutely love what I'm hearing coming out of this defense with Vic Fangio, right? Because remember what Vic Fangio said in one of his early interviews after being hired by the Dolphins. He said, and I quote, "I took a year off. I reevaluated. I learned some things. I'm going to bring a lot new things to the table." And that's what we're seeing. Every day it's something new. And I love it. See, I wasn't one of these people that always said, well, Vic Fangio, his base is a 3-4. It's a 4-3. Bro, this defense is going to be a hybrid. Vic Fangio, what we got to start understanding, Vic Fangio he could have stayed in Philadelphia. You don't think they would have loved him to have him as a defensive coordinator?
They definitely would have hired him.
He chose the Miami Dolphins for one reason only. When he looked at this roster and he looked at the people that were on that defense, they're interchangeable. You got a bunch of guys that could do multiple things, and that's what we're going to get from this defense, multiple looks, right? It's not going to be a base this. We're not going to just sit in this. We're going to do multiple things. I love what I'm hearing coming out of training camp with Vic Fangio on this defense. It's amazing, bro.
I know there's a lot to like about it. So, I mean, it goes back to the conversation of Eli Apple, right? So Eli Apple started in a Super Bowl. He didn't make a Pro Bowl, but he started in a Super Bowl. So he knows how to play at an elite level on a winning football team. Let's just throw that out there, right? If nothing else, it's going to be great for the locker room to have somebody that's had that experience in there, because look, here's the reality. He knows what it takes to get to that level. And this defense is obviously trying to do that and trying to get this team there to the next level. Now, with all that being said, the defense also has a lot of youth and inexperience on it, minus Jalen Ramsey, minus Eli Apple, minus Xavier Howard. But X hasn't been X has never won a playoff game, right? So besides that, there's a lot of inexperience on this team when it comes to winning and making deep runs into the playoffs. Fangio knows what it takes, right? And so I look at Fangio and I say, hey, man, I think that, bringing in somebody like Eli Apple sounds like a Vic Fangio move. And to me, he's not going to bring it or approve anybody to come in if they're not going to be able to play in his type of defense. And if Noah was there at that level, I'd like to think that they wouldn't have signed a corner. But I have to tell you, there's a few red flags. Number one, this is the third straight year we've had to sign a veteran corner within the first week of training camp or first 2 weeks of training camp.
Right.
And so and every year I feel like we go in saying, oh, we got this elite secondary. It's going to be amazing. I'm predicting 10 to 11 players making the team, but we still needed to go out and go get another added piece. So what does that say about the players that are already there at the end of the secondary, that they had to go out and get somebody?
I mean, but it's a veteran, though. It's a guy that's been there, done that before. Like, okay, would you rather have Eli Apple or Keon Crossing? Would you rather have Eli Apple or Justin Bethel? Like, to me, I know everybody got in their uproar. Well, Eli Apple, he sucks. He's trash. He's this. He's that. Bro, he's better than anything we had.
Eli Apple had to be he was drafted number one very high. So the expectations on him were always very high. Number two, let's be honest, he's been a starter everywhere he's been. He hadn't been a backup. He's been a starter in New York. He was a starter in New Orleans, and he was a starter in Cincinnati. So you can say that he sucks, but he's clearly good enough to have been starting on 3 NFL football teams, one of them going to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't suck. Is he elite? No, but he's played at an elite level at times in his career. So there's something to be said of that. As far as would I want Keon Crossing over Eli Apple, maybe that's where Chris Grier comes into play, right, Lewis? Like, if I cut Keon Crossing, I save $3.5 million or $3.1 million, whatever it is. So there's that there. And right now, because you signed Eli, I think you're under $10 million currently under the cap right now.
Yeah, because his deal was $3.7 million, right? I believe I just seen that. For 2 years?
I thought it was a 2-year deal. I could be wrong. Let me go look. Go ahead, keep going. I'm just gonna clarify that.
Well, I mean, listen, whether it is, I mean, I would definitely love 3.7 for 2 years, but I thought it was a 1 year. But I mean, hell, for me, Stephen, again, I think that Eli Apple
it was a 1-year deal. You're right.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how much you're saving just by getting rid of Keon Crossing. I just threw a name out there, Stephen, because again, when we first got him, it was doom and gloom. Oh my God, Eli Apple, he's the worst thing ever. And all I'm saying is, bro, he's a veteran. He's coming in with experience. I think of Eli Apple. Now, do I want him to be out there teaching? No, I'm not saying that. But just his knowledge of playing in big time games, maybe sitting with guys like Cater and Cam Smith and some of the younger guys in there and telling them, hey, man, relax, don't worry about it. Just giving them little nuggets like that. I think he could be beneficial in that room.
Now, Eli Apple has had a history with Tyreek Hill, right? The star on this team. So that was one of the big things. And allegedly, well, not allegedly, apparently, because it was confirmed, McDaniel did say that he went to Tyreek before they officially signed him and asked him, would he be okay with this signing? And some people, it was kind of split on social media, how people thought about that. I thought it was great. I don't think that I think that they were trying to say, hey, look, you're a leader on this team. You understand what the locker room's like. Are you going to, and I know you've had a history with this person. Is this something, we don't want to alienate the locker room? And I don't want to say we necessarily want to alienate you, but how do you feel about bringing in Eli Apple? And apparently Tyreek was 100% on board with us, saying, if he's going to help this team win a Super Bowl, let's go. Let's do it. And apparently yesterday, with the first practice, Eli and Tyreek were hanging out with each other, and and he was introducing him to some of the other guys on the team. So, look, if that to me says a lot about Tyreek, that all he wants to do here is win a Super Bowl, right? That's a big deal.
Absolutely. Listen, I think people make big things on the field. Yeah, they might have had some words. It might have been here and there. Or you think how many people in the NFL have switched teams to players maybe they didn't like? I mean, what
Probably
are we
happens
talking
more
about here?
often than not.
Absolutely. So I wasn't worried about that. I thought of it as soon as I heard the name Eli Apple. I was like, hey, that's the kid that got into it with Tyreek. But as far as it being an issue in the locker room or them having words or them being divided, I can't see that. And to your point, that's a credit to Tyreek Hill.
Kevin Lee with the $5 donation. Thank you, Kevin. Says, no word on Cook signing with the Jets after yesterday's visit. That's a good sign for Miami. Dalvin just playing chess with Miami to up their offer. We're going to get into the running back situation here in a minute. I just want to finish up on the Fangio stuff. So now that he's here, as far as Eli's concerned, what do you fully expect from the Dolphins and Vic Fangio's defense? Because, and if you remember earlier last week, I talked about how, like, Eric Ezukama, did great in the preseason last year, but the moment he got into the regular season, he only dressed for half the games and he could not get a grasp of the playbook. And the first 3 days, allegedly, there are some of the guys on the defensive side that are struggling to grasp the concept of what Fangio is trying to install here. What do you take from that?
It's a learning curve, Steven. I mean, no one's going to be if you're at work, right? Because this is their job. This is what guys are doing, and you're being taught one thing, and then the next day you're doing something else and something else. It's just going to take time. It's going to take repetition. But I don't look at it as a negative. I always try to be on the positive side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's something they can learn from. I think it's great because Vic Fangio is probably let's say the guys that are kind of not getting it. Vic Fangio could sit with them and say, hey, man, this is what you were supposed to do on this play. This is what we need you to be. This is why. And just kind of point them in the right direction. But listen, third day in the training camp, I don't expect this defense to be at 100% yet. I'm not worried at all.
You come talk to me after, the first or second week of preseason. And if we're still having that problem, then there's an issue.
Exactly. Yeah, bro, third day, we haven't even been in pads yet. So it's like, nah, I don't think there's an issue. I'm more thinking of, bro, the guys like Cater Kohu. Have you read some of the reports about Cater coming out of training camp?
Everybody said he looks even better than he did last year.
Bro, I mean, come on.
And last year was a good year.
He was a monster last year. They say that kid is taking off. The rookie, Cam Smith. Remember the uproar?
Terrell Williams, too.
Looking great, right? Javon Holland out there making plays. David Long Jr., I heard, had a great day yesterday. Our new linebacker. Bro, they're out there making plays. That defensive line has been dominant. Emmanuel Ogba, Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler, Phillips, Chuck. They're all eating. It's like this defense to me is going to be dynamic, Steven. It really is. It might take a little bit of time, to your point, but am I worried or concerned? No. I think when we got Vic Fangio, this is what we all envisioned, hearing things like this coming out of training camp of how this defense is just flying to the ball, reacting. It sounds like all indications are this defense is going to be dynamic.
All right, let me play this real quick. This is from Coach McDaniel on Jalen Ramsey in the press conference this morning. A little quick snippet. I'll just share it real quick.
Mike, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since Jalen had the procedure. What were you able to say to him afterwards? It's been reported. It's been a full repair. Might have him out till December. What kind of time do you have for him now?
Well, what's not a full question? Yeah, but I get it. The talking to Jalen after his surgery was talking to a really drowsy person, but he was in good spirits, and I think the surgery went about as well as it could have. So we're elated about that, and in terms of where his mindset is at, you couldn't. He's a self-proclaimed alien, and he couldn't have a better mindset with which to attack this process. He's a immediately tell me whatever the timeline is, and I'm going to beat it by a month. What I like about that is, thankfully, we have a training staff that is, just puts really does a good job of protecting players against themselves. So I know that he won't be rushed. So that combination of prudence and the player's aggressiveness for this stuff, I know one thing. When Jalen's back on the field this year, he's going to be 100% Jalen Ramsey. So I'm fired up about that. And now, as a team, we make sure that the team he comes back to does everything they can to be the best version of themselves possible.
Mike,
All right, so here's my take kind of on that. Number one, just looking at McDaniel's reaction, he's obviously looking at the bright side of a negative situation, right? But I also like the fact that he said, look, Jalen comes out, he said, I'm going to try to beat the diagnosis by a month. and clearly the one thing that always comes back to me is Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, was supposed to be out, 18 months, was supposed to miss the whole season, ends up, I think he did it in 8 or 9 months. He did it in half the time or something. It was something ridiculous. He
Right.
did something that no human being should do. But I look at that and I say that is somebody who was very, he took what the doctor said, but he also was like, I need to do everything I can to go above and beyond that. My hope is that Jalen is going to do that, but I don't want him to further hurt his career more. So what did you take from that? What was your process? And when do you, I know you're not a doctor, but just from a fan standpoint and having PTSD with injuries, when do you want to see Jalen Ramsey back on the field?
I want to see Jalen Ramsey back when he's 100% healthy.
Yeah.
That's when I want to see him. I don't want to rush this guy back. I think this team is poised enough to win games without Ramsey, right? I think we all love Ramsey. We miss him. It's sad. We're all devastated that it happened. But listen, we made the playoffs last year with a lot more injuries to that secondary, and Ramsey wasn't part of that, right? For me, Steven, I need him to be either 95 to 100% healthy before he gets back on the field, right? So let's say it's December. I mean, hell, we were 8-3 last year going into December, basically 8-4. You don't need Jalen Ramsey. If Jalen Ramsey is 80% and you're sitting at 8-4, 9-3, why rush him back? Right? It depends. Now, if you're playing for your playoff lives and he's 80, 85%, yeah, I'm going to throw him out there. But if you're looking pretty good, if you're a number 1, 2, maybe even 3 seed in the AFC, I'm not rushing Jalen Ramsey back. Because that's not, bro, we don't need him. We don't need Jalen Ramsey at 80, 85% to come play.
We need Jalen Ramsey at 100% making a Super Bowl run.
Exactly, Steven. And that's all it is. Do not rush this guy back. Hopefully his rehab goes good. There's no setbacks. And whenever he's ready and he feels ready to play, that's when we play him. But I don't want all this rushing them back stuff now.
All right. So one of the things that I really think that bothered me last year was the multitude of injuries. So when a big injury like this happens in the first week of training camp, we know that we as fans kind of say, oh, snap, here we go again. The ball's rolling on this all over again. Look, the reality is it was a freak accident. Like it sucks, right? But everybody in the back of their mind is waiting for the quote unquote other shoe to drop. What should teams from a fan's point of view do so that they don't kind of get into what we got into we dealt with so many injuries in the secondary last year, and I don't want to deal with that again. What was your reason why you thought there were so many injuries last year, and how do you prevent it from happening this year?
I don't know if you can prevent injuries in the game. I just think it was
what it was.
It was what it was. I mean, how can you prevent injury? Like, I don't think it's hard for me to believe a medical team or a staff in the building in Miami, they're just horrible. They don't know what they're doing. I would imagine that all NFL teams, you have the best equipment you're working with. You have the best medical staffs and stuff. I just think it was, injuries happen, and I think the bug caught us. I think we just had some bad luck, and hopefully this year we kind of avoid that. You just gotta, it goes with the flow, Steven. At
Look,
that point, I don't think we could have did anything different if that's what you're asking me. Like, I mean, how do you prevent injuries?
you can't really prevent injuries. I 100% get that and understand that. I think for me, I look at Super Bowl winning teams, and I know that one of the reasons they win Super Bowls because they have less injuries than the other teams. Because in order to win a Super Bowl, you need talent, you need elite talent, you need a little bit of luck, and you need health. And if you don't have those things, those four things, you need talent, you need elite talent, a little bit of luck, and health. And if you don't have those four things, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. We have talent. We have elite talent. Do we have a little bit of luck? Are we going to be healthy? Those are things to be determined as we move forward in the year. And I think that all of those things, play a big factor into the success of a team on a year in, year out basis, right?
Right. Yeah.
And that's going to be a big reason, like with the whole Jalen Ramsey thing, it does give other people an opportunity to step up. We never would have heard of Cater Kahoot last year if it wasn't for the injuries. Let's be honest about that, right?
Absolutely.
Trill Williams injury included. So, because Trill was slated to start ahead of Cater before he got injured. So we found a diamond in the rough with Cater because at the end of the day, Cater, I mean, look, to be real, he's a freak. And the fact that he was undrafted is even more mind-boggling that he's doing what he's doing. But I think that's a testament to the scouting department with the Miami Dolphins and Chris Greer, and, big ups to them. But, I hope that with some of these veteran free agents that might come in, that we still have that kind of same luck with some of these, veteran free agents or undrafted free agents.
Absolutely. Well, remember when we drafted Cam Smith in the second round? How many people lost their mind? What are we doing?
It looks like a great pickup now that Jalen Ramsey's hurt.
How does that move look now? And by all indications, he's another young kid balling. So, I mean, I would say pump the brakes. I know everybody's upset about Jalen Ramsey, as well they should be. I'm not trying to say don't be upset, but the guys that are saying the sky is falling because Jalen Ramsey's hurt, I don't think that's the case. I think Miami will be fine. I really do.
The team is announcing that Creon Crossan's injury is not big and that he heals fast and he'll be back quicker. Does it, you talk real quick about, we signed Eli Apple to what, 3.7 million or something like that. And the savings on the cap casualty of Keon Crossan would have been 3.5. That kind of cancels out, obviously, right? So does Keon Crossan make this team now because of the injury to Jalen Ramsey?
I don't think so. My personal opinion, I don't think Keon Crossan makes this team. I mean, with
the injury to Jalen.
Even with the injury. I think Noah's a lock. I think Noah's going to be on this team.
You think Noah's a lock?
I think he's a lock. I mean, you can have the crickets all you want, Stephen. I'm telling you, I think Noah's making this team. I think there's some hype around Noah.
I hope you're wrong, Lewis. I've never wanted you to be more wrong in my life.
Well, but again, Stephen, listen, we give the deference, or at least for me, even last year, I was coming out and saying, listen to Tua. You could start. It seemed like Tua was starting to get it, right? Listen to Noah in that interview. Mm-hmm. Listen to it. Just maybe something is clicking. Out of the horse's mouth himself, he said this scheme fits his skill set. The last regime, last coaching, Brian Flores, that defense, that it didn't fit what Noah did well. This scheme does. I just think, again, am I saying Noah's going to be Jalen Ramsey or Xavier Howard? No. But I do think Noah might be able to make some improvements and some plays in this defense. Absolutely.
Jason Sarni with a tweet, because he's at camp, states, Blake Ferguson with a picture-perfect snap to undrafted free agent punter Michael Turk. Turk blasting a ball that seemed to nip a cloud. Somewhere his uncle Matt Turk is smiling. legacy. Very interesting, right? With Jake Bailey and the competition there with, look, everybody, we got to talk about it, right? Punters are people too. Okay. And we got to talk about the Jake Bailey, Michael Turk, battle that will be going on. That's going to be honest, it's probably an exciting one because field possession of where you get the ball throughout the game can play a big part on the difference between stopping somebody in their own side of the field or kicking a 47 or 48-yard field goal, right? And so the punter is going to be very, different. And here's the other thing too. I think we also need to look at them as a placeholder for the kicker. Coach Cornblue, Brandon Cornblue, Jason Sanders' personal kicking coach said that whoever the punter is this year, a part of the reason they'll make the team is if they're a good placeholder on the kicking team. What do you think about Jake Bailey, former, New England Patriots punter, was before he got hurt, was arguably one of the best punters in the league. And then, obviously having Michael Turk, the legacy of Matt Turk, I think would be really cool. Who do you think is going to make the team as the punter?
I think it's going to be Michael Turk. I heard that kid has basically an arm for a leg. Let's just say that. I mean, he has a cannon. That's what his leg is. So
I like it. For the brand.
It's for the brand, right? So I'm going Michael Turk. I think this kid, legacy-wise, to your point, and just I think he has what it takes. Or at least for me, I would like to see Michael Turk. So
I would love to see Michael Turk too. I think that, it would be a really cool story to see him, but ultimately I just want to see that, he can be a big part of the offense, of the special teams moving forward and making this team obviously a little bit better. This is from Daniel Oyefusi. I'm going to turn on the sound a little bit here. It's getting a little crazy there. It's pretty awesome. Vibe. It's training camp. Seems to be like a vibe at the game. Now, have you been to a training camp before? You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to training camps before.
What is training camp like in Miami and South Florida for some of these guys that don't understand the heat of what this is for some of these guys?
Hot. It's hot. It's miserable. All right. It's miserable. We love our team. The pros are, you'll get interviews, you get kind of access to players that you'll never be able to really have. So that I get it from that perspective. It's great, but it's brutal on a person's body. The heat, just being out there. It's brutal.
There's definitely something to be said about the heat, and I believe that it allows the Dolphins to have something that nobody else in the NFL really has, and that's that. Look, it gets hot in Dallas. Don't get it twisted. It gets hot in Tampa. It gets hot in Jacksonville, but I feel like that Miami heat is something different. It'll knock you out, and come July and August here, these are the dog days of summer, and right now is when you need to be in the best shape and getting into the best shape so that come December, you're not worried about anything because your body's going to revert back to the end of July, all of August of just where your body needs to be in the fourth quarter in some of those games, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think for the players, I thought you were talking about for the fans, but for the players, absolutely. No, for the players, it's absolutely beneficial. Like, I get that thing where let's go in the bubble when it's raining and stuff. No, listen, in South Florida, it's going to rain. There's two things about South Florida. It rains and it's hot. All right. Our teams need to be conditioned, Stephen, in that. I don't want to see what's raining go in the bubble. No, let the guys play in the rain because it's going to rain during the season. Let the guys play if it's 105, 110 index, I don't want them to be in the bubble. Keep playing outside because, to your point, conditioning, get ready. I mean, bro, last year, okay, I get it. That Green Bay game and Christmas Day, it was cold. For the most part, I wear tank tops on Christmas Day in Florida.
Just rub it in, okay?
Well, I'm just saying it's hot, so it's definitely beneficial for the team But from a fan's perspective, I mean, I talked to Papa Paul a little bit last night. He was dead, bro. It was like 8:45, and that man wanted to go to sleep from just getting beat down in the sun all day. So, I mean, it's hot, man. It's brutal. Stay hydrated if you're a fan and you go out to training camp.
Stay
Because
hydrated.
it's hot.
I am not mad at that. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Victory Monday. Stephen D with my man Lewis A, aka Rabid Dolphin fan, aka
That's Cap.
That's Cat. That's Cat. We are chilling here on Victory Monday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We talked and discussed the Eli Apple signing, how that'll affect everything. We talked, a lot about, Vic Fangio's impact and how this team, he's already making an impact a week, 4 days into training camp, and positive ones. And just to reiterate, anytime I hear anything negative about the offense, to me, for the first time, I feel like I need to take it as a good thing, because it's going to show any weakness that they can prepare for playing against any of these teams the next 17 weeks, 18 weeks, right?
The offense ain't going to see a better, well, there might be matchups, right? But this defense right here, when they get to practice against 17 weeks, 18 weeks, they're not facing anything better in this league, right? And remember,
I agree.
Vic Fangio, Super Bowl, right? He wasn't working with the Philadelphia defense. He was working with the Philadelphia offense, helping Jalen Hurts, right? And I think when you hear days at training camp, not only Tua, but maybe the offense might have been struggling here a little bit. I don't want Coach McDaniel in that meeting room with the offense. I would like Vic Fangio there. And again, Vic Fangio asked Tua, hey, why did you go there when you seen this defense? If you see this, if we're lined up, if we're giving you this look pre-snap, and then we show you something else post-snap, where do you think the ball should go? And I think, bro, it's just going to help Tua. That's why Tua's never lost to New England, right? He had a guy that came from New England that taught Tua how to beat that kind of defense, right? That New England style, that Belichick style, right? Tua's always had problems with this Vic Fangio style defense. Now guess who's getting to sit in the room with Tua and teaching them how to beat this defense? Vic Fangio. It's a win-win. I'm excited, Steven. I really am.
Where do you currently see Tua as far as tiered quarterback currently in the NFL right now? Tier 1,
Well, listen,
tier 2, tier 3.
But who's in tier
Tier 4?
1? Because in tier 1, there's only one guy, in my opinion, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Right? Tua falls maybe in that second tier. Listen, I'm high on Tua. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Tua has everything that you need to be a starter in this league. He's already established himself. I think he can make every throw in that you need him to make on the field. He's established that. Really, with Tua, it's health. That's it. If Tua plays,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying, Steven, if Tua plays a full season, 15, 16, 17 games, we're winning a lot more games than we're losing.
I would 100% agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Mike Sando, a writer for The Athletic, he's been an NFL writer for years, actually. Recently did, the quarterback tiers of 2023. And I just wanted to kind of show you what his tiers were as far as the different quarterbacks in the NFL, and wanted to see if you'd agree or you disagreed. And we'll kind of show it here for a second. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you can see. All right, so in tier 1, he has Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert. I would agree with you that I think tier 1 is Patrick Mahomes by himself, and Joe Burrow can make the argument of being there with him. But Burrow hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? So it's tough to put him at tier 1 when you haven't won a Super Bowl. So I think it's Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow's 1 and 2. Allen, Rodgers, and Herbert, in my opinion, are second tier quarterbacks, but not by much. And Rodgers is unknown. I still put a question mark next to him because we don't know what he's going to be with Nathaniel Hackett and everything like that. Although he had his Birdman moment on social media or on media this week. Keep my coach's name out your mouth.
Yeah, he did.
And talking to Sean Payton. So, what are your thoughts? Actually, I'll go through the second tier too. He has Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins. So in the first 12 quarterbacks, he doesn't have Tua in there at all. Do you agree or disagree? And whose name in here do you definitely think shouldn't be in here? What are your thoughts on the first two tiers of Mike Sando's tiered quarterbacks?
Well, I don't like Herbert being in tier one. The man hasn't won. He's basically Tua. He hasn't. I don't care if he led a team to the playoff. He didn't win. He don't have no playoff win. You cannot be in tier one without a playoff win. So Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is not tier one. Tier two, I hate this Dak Prescott. There's nobody going to sit here and tell me that Dak Prescott is better than Tua Tagovailoa. He's not. I don't care about nothing. Aaron Rodgers, I don't even like Aaron Rodgers in that tier one, and I'll tell you why. What are we going by? The guy's played 20 plus years in this league, right? Can't put you in a tier one because of things you've done. I thought we're projecting what these guys are doing moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is on the decline. Aaron Rodgers is not a top tier guy, number one, in that top class. No, I don't believe that neither. I think Tua definitely is somewhere in that top 10. Where you want to put him is debatable, but no, bro. You've already went through 12 quarterbacks and Tua is not one of them, Steven. I don't agree.
I would agree with that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers should be in the Rodgers and Herbert should definitely be not top tier one quarterbacks. And if anybody deserves in tier two to be a tier one quarterback, it would be Jalen Hurts, right?
I agree.
He should be in there. I'm somewhat okay with the top 10 as far as them being just the top 10. I'm very high on Trevor Lawrence. I think Lawrence is, after this year, Lawrence will be considered a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I think that Jacksonville Jaguars are going to go deep into the playoffs. I like what Doug Peterson's doing up there in Jacksonville. I think it's good. But Deshaun Watson, no, shouldn't be number 11 and shouldn't be a tier 2 because, look, even when he did come in and play last year, it wasn't great. It wasn't And Kirk Cousins, I love the man. Don't get it twisted. But let's be honest. Is Kirk playing in big games doesn't show up. He does not show up in primetime games. And so it's tough for me to put him in top 12. Now, as far as Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, they're definitely top 10 quarterbacks, and they should definitely be in there. Now, going to tier 3, here's his tier 3 quarterbacks. Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, Jimmy Garoppolo, Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Ryan Tannehill, and Mac Jones, Wack Jones. I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think?
Tua should be definitely top in the tier 2. Man, is there a tier 4? Or is this the last of the tier?
No, tier 4 is Brock Purdy, Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, and Gardner Minshew.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I don't know. Listen, I'm not sold on Kyler Murray. Actually, I don't like anything about Kyler Murray, actually. Derek Carr. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and argue about tier 3.
The man was straight release, like wasn't he released?
Yeah.
Wasn't even traded, was he?
I think he was released. I think the Raiders released him. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not, listen, I could care less about all these quarterbacks, to be honest. I think Tua gets shafted in this list again. He is definitely a tier 2 guy. I don't think Tua has crept into the tier 1 yet.
No, he's not tier 1. I agree with that. He needs to be healthy for his full season and win a playoff game. But he's not tier 1. Now, Tua, in my opinion, this is my opinion, guys. He should be above Russell Wilson.
Agreed.
And he should be above Kyler Murray. You can make the argument for Derek Carr, but he was straight released by his team last year. Right? That's something to be said. So you can make the argument that he should be above Derek Carr. And I think he's better than Jared Goff, personally. So in my opinion, Tua should at minimum be number 13 on this list. and should be moved into the tier 2. Tua should be above all those tier 3 quarterbacks, Kevin Lee says.
Absolutely.
Dolphin Don says, agree. Murray is not a leader. Raphael says, Steven, the word is Zappy is outperforming Wack Jones in camp. Tua is a solid tier 2. Geno Smith was better than Tua last year. The numbers were, yes, because Geno played every game. But if you're giving me Geno Smith or Tua, I'm taking Tua 10 out of 10 times.
Exactly.
But yeah, Geno should be a little bit higher on this list. And Ryan Tannehill and Wack Jones, I don't think they're tier 3 quarterbacks. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't believe so neither. Yep.
I think they should be moved into tier 4, and Brock Purdy should be moved up more. I know he didn't play but 11 or 12 games in the NFL, but let's be honest, those 11 and 12 games showed me more than I ever saw in Ryan Tannehill's entire career. Facts?
That's cap.
That's
cap. I would kind of pump the brakes on Brock Purdy a little bit. I got to see a little bit more before I say he's creeping out, going up or even creeping into the tier 2. Nah, I got to see a little bit more.
Wayne D says, with no concussion last year, Tua was 3 quarterback year. Anyone disagrees that can drink straight camel sweat?
Whoa.
Oh my God. Oh man. I just thought of a new segment that we're gonna have to institute on Mondays. It's gonna be facts or that's cap. Fact or that's cap segment. We're gonna do right here on Monday starting next week. We're gonna come up with like 5 to 10 topics and questions, and you're either gonna say facts or that's cap. You like that? Let's go.
Like that.
I just saw it. And he's like, no, that I said facts. And you're like, no, that's cap. And I was like, oh, that's a good one. I like it. Look at us being creative up here on the show, baby. I love it, man.
Absolutely.
Evolving as we speak. All right. I'm going to do, I was supposed to do my top 30 quarterbacks in the league. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But I'm hoping to get that done hopefully this week, if not next week. But I definitely think as far as the Tua hype, I think it should be real. And I think more people around the league should be hyping him up more. Some of the throws that I saw this weekend, he's legit, man. He is 100% legit, a star in this league. And if you think otherwise, I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, for me, again, it's health. The kid stays healthy. He can make all the throws. You can win with him. He's proven that, right? I think a lot of people, Steven, they just want to be perfect. And no man is perfect, right? Nobody in this world is perfect. So, there's going to be go ahead.
Did you guys hear Tua got hit and fell backwards and did a somersault? Ha ha. This is jiu-jitsu lessons are paying off. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, real quick, did you hear who's got the orange jersey on today?
I did not. Who has the orange jersey?
Mr. Cater Kahoo.
Oh, that was yesterday. Cater had it yesterday.
Cater had it yesterday? Okay, all right. Well, look, I'm wrong.
Yeah, that was Cater.
He might have to give up that number 4, though.
For what?
Well, let's talk about it, baby.
Let's talk about it.
So, yesterday, Raheem Moser is in the orange jersey today, by the way. And Trill Williams is in a red non-contact jersey for the second straight practice. Brandon Jones is stretching with the teammates, but he's not in uniform. Just little things up here. Oh man, I got to show you this real quick. This is pretty good. Hold on. This is from practice warm-ups today. This is the stuff I love about the team right here. Look at this. I love it, man.
Unbelievable.
They're having a good time, man. They're having a good time. They're enjoying the practice. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. All right, yeah, let's talk about it, man. Dalvin Cook, took a visit to New York Jets facility. It's going to be featured on Hard Knocks. The Hard Knocks crew followed him and saw the training camp visit and everything. And apparently he left without signing any piece of paper and posted on Twitter, getting out of here, and then posted a run of him on us. Again, what are your thoughts about Dalvin Cook signing with the Jets? Are you surprised he left the facility without a contract yesterday? Do you think he's trying to, play the Jets play the Dolphins and say, hey, look, I can sign here? What are your thoughts about the whole situation with Dalvin right now?
He played the Jets. Absolutely. He went over there to play the Jets, and he's playing Miami. And I think Miami is playing the game the right way. Miami don't have to move up for Dalvin Cook. Steven, I don't even want to talk about Dalvin Cook, to be honest. I think we're barking up the wrong tree, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
There's other guys, and I'm just saying. I'll be the first one, because I know I'm going to get killed for this, Steven. Well, Lewis, you said you don't want to pay a running back. You said the running backs are devalued. I did say that. There's a 23-year-old monster trying to get out of Indianapolis. That's the move the Miami Dolphins should be making. That's the move we should. As fans, we're sitting here clamoring for a 28-year-old running back. Steven, let me ask you this. We're talking about a running back to help us in this 2-year window, correct?
Yep.
That's what Dalvin does. He gives us a 2-year window.
Correct.
What kind of window do you think a 23-year-old running back that's a stud extends that window?
Oh, yeah, 100% it does. But A, what do you have to give up for him? And B, what would you have to pay him?
Wouldn't matter. If you told Jonathan Taylor, I think, is making $800,000 this year, right?
You are such a hypocrite, Lewis. You are such a hypocrite. You know that?
Call it what you want. Call it what you want. If you told Jonathan Taylor, let's say for the sake of argument, hey, we got a 3-year, $36 million deal, $27 million guaranteed. That's $9 million a year. You want to sign up for that, Steven? To go up from $800,000 to $9 million. You don't think he would sign up for that?
I mean,
to play on this team?
He would.
Okay. So what are we talking about? I'm not talking about giving a running back 15, 16 million, but a guy like that, a 23-year-old, right? I'm giving $8, $9, $10 million to. I'm just not doing that for a 28-year-old Dalvin Cook.
Yesterday, it came out that the Colts were considering placing Jonathan Taylor on the non-football injury list. Per source, he suffered, quote, some type of back injury while working out in Arizona. Last night, Jonathan Taylor gets on his Twitter account and states, don't let nobody tell you about no back pain. I don't have no back pain. I ain't hurt my back. Don't let these people fool you. Jim Irsay basically saying, I don't care that he wants out. He'll stay here.
Mm-hmm.
You already know that, Josh Jacobs is feeling that type of way in Vegas. Are these owners just not look, swear jar on me. Do they just not give a shit right now about what these running backs feel and are just going to do what they want with them? Because I feel like if it's almost any other position, they're not playing this card with them.
Well, again, the running back, I can see where it sounds hypocritical. They are devalued. Let's just be honest. The running back room is getting devalued. But another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is, for me, Jonathan Taylor would be the move for Miami. I don't care what I have to give up. I don't care what I'm paying.
You don't care what you have to give up to go get Jonathan Taylor?
Let me ask you this. This is why I've been waiting for this conversation. I got all kind of things going through my head, right? Indianapolis has already taken Jonathan Taylor off of all their websites, everything, right? He's already off. Okay, perfect. Don't tell me that he's staying.
Let me double check that. But yeah, I believe he is.
He's off. Yep, he's off. Don't tell me that he's going to be playing for Indianapolis this year. He's not. I'm not saying he's playing for Miami. I'm just saying he's not going to play for Indianapolis. Let me ask you a question, Steven. Let's say, because we all believe Miami's a 11 to 12 to maybe some people say 13-win team, and we all believe we're going to be making a strong push in this year's playoffs, right?
Yep.
Let's say for the sake of argument, right?
Damn, he really
Miami
is off of everything.
He's off
They
of everything.
deleted his ass off of
Thank
social
you.
media. They said, "Psych, you're gone, baby."
Bro, he's not playing. He's not a cult this year, right?
Okay, I looking at this, the math is there.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Let's say Miami gets into the divisional round. Hell, even in the AFC championship game. You're picking in the first round, what, 28, 29, 30?
Yes. Yep.
What player in the draft at 30 are you getting better than Jonathan Taylor?
You're not. There's no running back in this draft that's better than that.
Period. I'm sending that first round right now.
So
right now I'm signing. I'm sending that to the Indianapolis Colts. You heard it here first.
EM Baller with his $2 donation. Thank you for the donation, buddy. Says, I hear Taylor's looking for 15, 18 million. Do you do that?
I
would
wouldn't.
do that?
No. I wouldn't go 15 to 18 million. But would I go 10 to 12? Yeah. Bro, he's 23, Steven.
Level 2 Noob says he may not play for Andy, but he ain't gonna play anywhere else neither.
I'm on, Noob. Don't kill the dream, Noob. I'm just saying, bro,
acquiring
he's 23.
Jonathan Taylor would put the Dolphins in cap space limbo. Those bags are heavy.
No, they wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
Got to get rid of somebody. Jeff Wilson's probably in that trade.
Okay, Jeff Wilson's probably part of that trade. Hell, we heard rumblings of Michael Pittman Jr., their star wide receiver, he's not happy when all this rumor came down. Maybe Cedric Wilson?
So we're going to trade Jeff Wilson and Cedric Wilson in a first round and let's say a fourth round pick. And we're going to get Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. Lewis,
I just want Jonathan Taylor.
Lewis, this is not Madden, okay? These trades don't exist in real life.
I don't want Michael Pittman. Hey, well, you know what? You know what also sounded like a Madden trade, Steven? A third round and Hunter Long for Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. That did sound
that happened, though. That did happen, though, right?
That was definitely a Madden trade. I'll give you that. But still, it's not like they fall out of the tree, buddy. Okay, you know that. You don't think
if Miami offered a first round pick for Jonathan Taylor that Indianapolis would listen? The man is off everything.
They would listen. They'd be stupid not to listen.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know any other running back. When was the last time a running back got traded for a first round pick? Was it Ricky?
Probably Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. I think maybe Adrian Peterson.
Okay,
maybe.
We'll give him a second. Okay. I don't care what it takes. I'm trying to have this Miami Dolphins. We're always talking about the window. It's 2 years. No. You go get a 23-year-old stud running back. You know what he brings, right? He's 23. Now, you got Jonathan Taylor and Devin Achane. That's your backfield for the next 4 years because they're both basically coming in. That would be your running back room for 4 years. You're built around those two guys, Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle. That's your core on offense. Now we can start building around that. But no, we are
Trent
fine.
Richardson was traded for a first EM Baller. You're right. He was. Well, that worked out really well for Cleveland.
Did we believe Trent Richardson was Jonathan Taylor?
Hell no.
Okay, so what are we talking about? If I'm Chris Grier, I am on the phone with Indianapolis saying, what do you guys want? And if it's a first, I'm willing to.
You're having a conversation. At minimum, you're having a conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Bro, he's 23, Steven.
Well, look, here's the other problem to all this, right? And I know you want to. Well, let's talk about Josh Jacobs, and then I'll get into that point. Josh Jacobs is also on the trade table too. Is he somebody you would want the Dolphins to go after?
Absolutely, 25, 1,000%. We're barking up the wrong tree. This Dalvin Cook is nice. Dalvin Cook would be my third option. Is Jonathan Taylor? It would be Josh Jacobs. It would be Dalvin Cook in that order. I mean, how else do you want to say it? Dalvin Cook is leaving his prime, right? I'm not saying he's not going to be good. I'm not saying he's not going to be productive. What I'm saying, he's leaving his prime. These other two guys are entering their prime.
Miami Fan Talk Show says Wilson Jr. and a second for Taylor.
There you go. You wouldn't make that happen?
I mean,
if that's what it
for
costs.
Jonathan Taylor, I would, but I would also want Indy to pick up some of that contract too.
What contract? He's only under contract for one last year of $800,000.
So
You
you're
could
saying
even
sign him
you could trade.
without the need to extend him?
No,
I don't
you
want
just
to
give him.
I don't want to trade without the promise of an extension.
No, you're gonna promise him, but that's what you pick up when you trade for him. You just extend, like give him an extension, right? So this year he'll play for Miami for $800,000, let's say, right? You can give him whatever signing bonus you want or whatever, bro. You can make the money work. I don't care about the money. He's 23, Steven.
So you're saying Jonathan Taylor A, Josh Jacobs B, and Dalvin Cook is way down the list at C.
Well, C is not way down the list. It's just right after B. It's not way down the list.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying, bro. Again, it's a no-brainer. Jonathan Taylor, when I heard the name Jonathan Taylor and he's on the market, right? Indianapolis can say what they want. Jim Irsay, I'm sorry, he's a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You heard what the man said.
I did.
He was kind of throwing fuel to the fire. His first tweet. Now I know he's kind of retracting that, saying, "Oh, well, we're not going to trade him and stuff." Well, why is he not on the website? We heard the same thing about Dalvin Cook, right? Oh, Minnesota was, well, maybe we keep him. Maybe we do that. He wasn't on the website. They ended up releasing him. Jonathan Taylor is available.
But you do not have to give up anything for Dalvin Cook. You don't have to trade for him. And he makes your team better.
Right.
And you only need 2 years out of him, which I think you would get.
But why do you want, again, in 2 years, Tyreek Hill is gone off this football team?
Okay.
Correct?
I mean, we don't know that. We don't know
Okay, well, we're assuming, though. He's off in 2 years.
We don't know that.
Okay, we're assuming. We're just assuming. We assuming that
I don't want to assume that. We don't know that yet. He said, he said, this was his words. After my 10th year, I'd like to retire. Then it was asked again a few weeks ago, are you still on, or a week ago, are you still on that same plan? And he says, you know what? If I still feel like I want to travel the country and this team is still competitive and we're in it, then yeah, I'll definitely think about staying after year 10 if I'm still enjoying the game.
Right.
As long as the Dolphins are competitive and he's enjoying, Tyreek's here for a while. I'm going to just tell you now.
What do you think Tyreek's paying? What do you think you're paying Tyreek? Because in these 2 years, you're not going to give Tyreek another contract when you got to pay Jalen Waddle.
Dolphins DB Justin Bethel picks off Skylar Thompson's first pass of the 11-on-11 today, targeting Eric Ezukama. Just throwing that out there.
Justin Bethel making this football team.
Travis Wingfield saying Mike White want Ezukama towards the sideline, but Justin Bethel runs under the route and cuts it off for the pick. Nice job securing the INT. Ezukama getting a hand in there to try to break it up. Tua Tagovailoa's first pass of the day was dropped by Tyreek Hill. Looked like either Tua was a little ahead of Hill to the sideline. I'm just going through here. Mike McDaniel compliments improvement in work by putting in the youngsters Cameron Good and Elijah Campbell with some of the starters today. I like it. Those two guys. One-on-one offense and defensive line drills, I thought went handedly to the offense. Rob Hunt didn't allow a thing. Thought Dan Feeney was rock solid. Loved what I saw from the rookie center, Uvalde. I can't say his name. If he makes the team, I'll learn how to say it. I'll give you some respect when you make the 53. Miami Fan Talk Show says it looks like Skylar is taking a step back than he did, making a lot of good throws during practice yesterday, but had some poor decisions in the red zone for balls interceptions. I don't know. I mean, look, this is the type of year where you can't, you got to take it for what it's worth, right? You everything with a grain of salt. If an interception happens, you can't, this is where you knock the rust off. This is where you make those little things happen. David Long just stopped Tyreek in the backfield. He's had good vision on developing plays. I think David Long's going to have a big year this year. Just want to throw that out there.
That's another one. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to make plays. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So to go back to the conversation, why I'm hitting refresh here, and I'm trying to get a couple of these people on. I've talked with Jason, and he hadn't gotten back to me yet. And I got a couple of other people that are at the thing. I'm trying to get them to come on. So hold tight. I'm trying to get somebody that's there at the training camp to come on live. Jason Sarni just tweeting 11 versus 11. Tyreek Hill with a nice end around play that would have moved the sticks on first down as he hit the sidelines for around 10 yards. Hey, what did I tell you? Those jet sweeps, those reverses, that stuff they need to implement this year. And now I'm seeing that. I like that. That's the stuff I want to see. Brandon Peli just threw down Moser and celebrated. Pads are on. He got a talking to from the coaches after his celebration, though. Don't come in here thinking you won a Super Bowl after one play of sacking a player. Don't think you're going to do it.
Let the boys have fun, man. Let them celebrate a little bit.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be wearing their throwbacks for the game against us, but the Miami Dolphins are not going to put their throwbacks on for that game.
Stupid.
That it's just, come on.
It's weak.
Their throwbacks and our throwbacks on Sunday Night Football
would be fire.
Would be absolute fire. Chris Greer, Tom Garfinkel, Stephen Ross, make that shit happen. Make it happen. You know how crazy that would be? Those lime greens versus the all whites for us.
Sick.
It would be. Oh my God! It would be one of the most tuned-in games ever. Omar Kelly saying good running lane for Devon A-Chain to the left side. He gets about 8 yards running behind Jerron Christian and Keon Smith. Devon A-Chain squeezed through the second level behind a block of Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn is playing today in full pads. I like it. So Isaiah Wynn started out on the PUP list, but he was there for the first full practice. I like it. Dolphins defensive tackle Brandon Peli, the one who got the talking to, is 6'3", 319 pounds, is a mountain mover. He was all fired up after not so gently moving an offensive lineman in his first day of pads, Joe Shad reporting. Javon A-Chain with back-to-back 10 to 15-yard runs down the middle at the first practice with pads. That's coming from Batman. Practice.
We might not need a running back. There you go.
We might not. A-Chain. Well, that's the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. You know, one of the reasons that everybody's sitting here saying we're not being aggressive towards Dalvin Cook is because we already have the running back that the Dolphins want, the coaching staff wants, and maybe A-Chain. So why is it now all of a sudden the conversation changing a little bit with Jonathan Taylor and potentially maybe even Josh Jacobs that, oh, well, the Dolphins are definitely going to be on Jonathan Taylor? That seems counterproductive to the of the reasons why most people were telling me we're not being aggressive towards Dalvin.
You need a 1-2 punch. And that's why you go get one of these younger guys, because Devin A-Chain and them could be the 1-2 punch. Listen, Gaskins ain't here no more. We already know that. Mostert probably is not going to be here next year. Neither will Jeff Wilson Jr. Now you're down to what? Ahmed and A-Chain?
Yep.
You need to pair them with somebody.
Yep, you're right.
Go get that man JT. Y'all, we can sit here and cry and scream if we want. Oh, Dalvin Cook, we want Cook. No, not everybody. I don't want him. I want Jonathan Taylor. I want Josh Jacobs. That's who I want. Go get me one of those guys.
Where's Tyreek starting this play from? Is he starting from the other side of the field? He sure is. Look at that. That's what I want to see right there. That's what I want to see this year. I talked about that several times last year during games on Therapy Mondays. let alone not Victory Mondays. I said if the Dolphins put in the reverse or they put in jet sweeps to Tyreek coming out of the backfield being handed off, that man, he would do some damage and it would open up the playbook for other things because defenses would have to respect that that is something that the Dolphins can execute. They better throw that play. Oh my God. If they play that during the regular season, Lewis, expect some highlight films. Okay. Expect some highlight films. Jason Sarni said, Eric Ezukama with a catch and a run after a 2-0 rollout. He's going to take the leap in year 2. Easy prediction. I like that, Jason. That was pretty good. I saw what you did there. Here's the Devon A-Chain touchdown. Not greatest video, but we'll play it nonetheless. Video starting to come out of training camp. We're just playing some of the highlights here. There's A-Chain. Bam. Would he have gotten stopped? I don't know, but man, he sure bust out of it. One. I think the safeties would have got him there. Probably wouldn't have been a touchdown if they were really hitting, but man, he's got some. A-Chain's got speed, man. He's got speed.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
He's going to be dynamic. He's going to be real good in this offense too. I don't know how much from the running perspective this year. I think it's more from the pass game, coming out of the flats, catching a lot of balls.
Kyle Crabb saying a couple. By the way, we're doing live status updates from training camp today. Lewis A, myself, Stephen D here on Victory Monday. Kyle Crabb's reporting a couple of linebackers flashing during this current 11-on-11 session, including David Long's speed into the backfield on the edge and Duke Riley flashing on a shallow out pattern to contest and ensure an incompletion. What do you think about Duke Riley and making this team and how big he's going to be this year?
I don't know. I think it's depth. I think David Long and Jerome Baker are the 2 starters for sure. And, you know, Duke Riley's just there for depth, but it's always good to hear any one of our players making plays. So I think Duke Riley makes the team, if that's what you're asking. But I don't know, you know, barring any injuries, I don't know if he's taking time from David Long or Jerome Baker.
David Fornes says Tua would be interception dropped by X and Javon Holland as both had 2 hands on it. A victory for counters of Tua's near interceptions. Defense is eating today from King of England. Savad Dean saying Jalen Phillips with a sack and Xavier Howard with drop the throw from Tua that followed. Tua then found Eric Ezukama for a wide open pass 1 play later. Nando Talk saying great coverage by Cam Smith on Braxton Berrios. Broke up a pass by Skyler. Omar Kelly saying Elijah Higgins skies up in the air to catch a 25-yard reception from Skyler. Bethel got mossed. I like that. Elijah Higgins. Cam Smith with a diving PBU on a crossing route to end the session. Good acceleration to close on the near hit. Elijah Higgins sighting, jump ball catch from Skyler, but Vic Fangio threw a flag for OPI. That's new. Interesting. Vic Fangio out here throwing flags on penalties.
I like it.
Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle got open after a pump fake by Skylar Thompson, but the wide open pass went right through his hands. Waddle can't bring in a Skylar Thompson deep throw. Omar Kelly writing. Skylar Nando saying Skylar throws a pick. Tua almost got sacked and picked it off. The Dolphins defense is hot again today. Fangio is straight cooking. Here is a easy E touchdown pass, I think, or an easy E pass. I don't know if it's a touchdown pass. Here we go. Let me share the screen.
There we go.
Oh, that's a touchdown all day. If you put Tyreek speed in there, that's a touchdown all day, dude. Or Jalen, for that matter. I like.
You got to see who threw that ball.
Easy E is going to be very interesting to see how he develops this season because he didn't understand the playbook last year, and that was something that was missing from his arsenal. So I'm interested to know what happens there from that standpoint. What do you think about Easy E development?
I think he's gonna be fine. You know, it's just where do you put him? Is he number 4 or is he number 5? Because I believe you have chosen as your number 3. I think I have Braxton Berrios.
Omar Kelly said in a tweet yesterday that he thinks Braxton Berrios right now is the number 3.
I had Braxton as my number 3 as well. So, but those guys are interchangeable. So you got chosen, I got Braxton. Either way, that would put one of our guys at 4. Does Easy E is at 5 then? Or does Easy E put a guy like Braxton Berrios in your scenario, chosen as 3 and Braxton is 4? Does Easy E jump over Braxton and get to number 4? And Braxton now is the 5? It's like I mean, I don't know. For me, I think we already know that 1 and 2. I think we know 3 and 4 is for, at least for me, it would be Braxton at start and chosen. And see, Eric Izakama is like the 5th receiver on the depth chart.
Dolphins Weekly said, Jason Sarni tweeting, Durham Smythe equals tight end 1. That's
Cat.
the tweet.
That's cat.
Okay, tell us why, because Jason's there. He likes what he sees from Durham.
Durham Smythe is a fullback. That's what he is. He's there to chip block and release to the flat. Bro, Durham Smythe has never ran a tight end route. He doesn't. Well, let me not say never because I know how this fan base is. He's ran a couple, but listen, people are trying to sell me on Durham Smythe being an elite. Well, not an elite tight end, but bro, he's not a good blocker neither. He doesn't give you what Mike Gesicki gave you from a catch perspective. And okay, he's a more willing blocker than Mike Gesicki. I get it. But he's not elite at it. Like, let's go on and throw the tape on, and you show me where Durham Smythe is an elite blocker. Like
Kyle Krabs tweeting, love it with a mauling block on the edge to spring a big run for Raheem. Didn't I tell you we'd see a lot from him from fullback this year more than the tight end 2 position because his hand is good now? I'm telling you right now.
Who is that? Ingle?
Well, it's love it, but I feel like the fullback position itself will be a lot that blocking back in the backfield this year for more protection for Tua. Jason Sarni said Mozart moving marvelously in his orange jersey. David Fornes says, oh man, Skylar Thompson threw a great deep ball to an open Jalen Waddle who had to go right through his hands. Waddle and Tyreek both with big drops today. Safid Dean says Tua with a completion to an all-around good guy, Durham Smythe. Then another to Eric Ezukama, whose name is finally coming up on autocorrect for me, so that's a win. Daniel Oyafusi, great pass, Brock. Mike White pass that was broken up by Tino Ellis. Great pass breakup by Tino Ellis. I mean, there's somebody who's a long shot to make the team, but, let him play really good, Cam Smith with another deflection on a pass he was trying to pick off. The rookie nearly got Tua. Dolphins DBs are all over the passes today. Cam Smith nearly comes away with another interception on Mike White. Man, they're out here. They're moving these DBs.
Man, Cam Smith is absolutely balling, but this is like the 4th or 5th time already. I've already heard Cam Smith's let an interception go through his hands. Like, can the man catch?
Well, I mean, if he's sitting here knocking down passes, that's a big thing, right? Like, that's something you want to see.
I mean, I want him to knock down passes, but that's not what these reports are. They're saying he's nearly intercepting the ball. I would imagine he's getting his hands on him, bro. You got to come down.
Getting a lot of hands on him. Batman,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you got to if you get your hands on him, you got to come down with him. But go ahead.
Batman,
I want to see what Batman said.
Cam Smith with another almost interception on Mike White. Great play by him. Emoji fire. So Cam Smith looks like he's doing his thing in practice. There's a lot to like about him. Mike White completion to Braxton Berrios, the former Jets with South Florida ties at home. during their first Dolphins practice together. White to Berrios for a slant for 16 yards. Cam White almost picks off Mike White. Great practice by the rookie. Some killer instincts Cam Smith has. I like these things.
Well, I love hearing that.
All this is El Capitan. He said, "Hey, Lewis, I thought Cook was not going to leave the Jets facility without a contract, and we were going to have to fire Greer." LOL.
I thought that's what I heard. Everybody was saying fire Greer. Hashtag fire Greer. He's a bum.
Omar Kelly says Emmanuel Agba pressured Mike White on a throw that ended up incomplete. Agba's another guy. What do you expect from Agba this year?
Monster. Listen, shout out to Ali and Color. I know they were at training camp yesterday, and they were dropping some absolute nuggets. Supposedly, Emmanuel Agba was playing a lot inside yesterday. I think that's another guy, Steven, that we talked about earlier. He's interchangeable, right? He can go play the edge, play inside. And all reports is, bro, he even looks a lot bigger than he did last year, maybe adding like 10 to 15 pounds. I think Vic Fangio has a plan for him to play more inside than outside. So,
yeah, I mean, I would agree. This is Durham Smythe catch across the middle. You play that in the NFL, I feel like you're going to get your tight end or receiver lit up on a play like that, though, I'll say.
That was Durham Smythe? Hold on, let me see this again. I can't believe it.
That's Durham.
Okay, about an 8-9 yard pass. I get it.
It ain't bad though.
They
had Raheem playing, in motion back to the backfield. Just kind of breaking down this play a little bit more here. You see, two wide receivers on the left side. You see Raheem on the right side coming back into the backfield. Looks like they're playing 4-3 defense. Anything stand out to you with any of this as far as defense or offense is concerned?
Well, it looks like he could have probably had Raheem Mostert. I don't know who's playing quarterback there.
Tua.
But look at the wheelwright develop. Look at Mostert run right by his defender, right up the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, if Tua has some time and they're playing full speed, that might be a touchdown right there.
Yeah, you drop that right over Raheem's shoulder. And
look at Raheem come out now. The outside linebacker does go after Raheem, but
he's gone right there.
I know he would beat most defenders in that situation, or most linebackers in that situation, because Raheem's speed is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, you're right, man. Raheem on that play, gone.
Look, he's gone right here. Look, hit him right now. That's when you let that ball go.
To be fair, right? What is it? What is his 2.3 seconds is the average release time for Tua?
I believe so. Yep.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my stopwatch out and see how that is. I'm going to see clock. Here we go. Stopwatch. 1.43 seconds.
See, you got him.
1.43 seconds.
I'm not gonna, talk down on the play. It was a completion.
Yeah.
I'm glad Durham Smythe caught the ball. Not saying it was a bad read by Tua. I'm just saying that Mostert, he gave Tua another option there.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was a coach, I'm telling Tua, take that shot. Mostert or any one of our running backs. I think it was yesterday, Mostert had the same play in the red zone. They were doing red zone drills. And it was the same kind of outlet wheel route to the back corner of the end zone that he caught a touchdown for.
All right, here we go. We got two in the backfield here, two wide receivers on this side of the field. And it looks like, I guess there's a wide receiver, or is that Durham Smythe just standing up at the tight end here? That's
probably Durham Smythe.
All right. And then the defense has 1, 2, 3, 4 on the line, 1, 2, 3 linebackers. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4 defensive You know, they're playing a vanilla 4-3, right?
4-3. Yep.
Vanilla, nothing major. Let's see how this plays out. Tua's got a lot of time to throw there. And that was a nice catch by Tyreek. That's a first down all day. Now, who else was open here? What was good? What was bad from this? Pause. All right. Well, you already got the Raheem
running back in the flat.
Here. Yep, running back's open in the flat.
Trying to see where Durham Smythe goes. That's Durham right there. You just had your icon on, right?
Yeah, Durham's talk. Well, this is X here.
Okay.
So by the way, Raheem is just wide open all day in the flat. Do you like that he go? So look, Raheem's wide open, and Tyreek has two men on him. He's got the linebacker and the safety, and he still goes to Tyreek.
Yeah, for me, and I would rather him just dump that off to the flat.
TD got caught by the feds, they said. TD was live and they got him.
Oh, man.
Well, hope he's good. No, I mean, go ahead. What were you saying about that?
I would just say dump it off to the flat. Again, listen, anything that could protect Tua. I just don't want Tua holding on the ball too long, trying to play hero ball, trying to make a play, trying to let things develop. No, if you got an outlet that's wide open, just get them the ball and live to play another down. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go. We got here, let me try to make this a little bit bigger if it will. No, it's not. It's not doing it. Okay. So just so you know, I know it's not as wide, but you see Raheem is in the backfield here with Tua. And by the way, that's Durham Smythe again. Durham Smythe could get some catches this year. Now, is Durham standing up? He is. Durham was all the way at the wide receiver too, near the sideline. He wasn't even here. This is Durham right here. I don't know if you can see my thing. This is Durham right here. I don't know who's there. And then it looks like there's the tight end up here and another wide receiver here. Pause. So there's Durham. Somebody's open here, but you see 1, 2. Yeah, they were waiting for Durham to go big, so the safety had to come up. Wide open in the flat.
I like it.
Me too, man. I like these guys coming out with some of these videos. They're probably going to get in trouble, but I like it nonetheless. You're helping me out with content, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Shout out to Bobby Schaus, who just did that. Shout out to you, my guy. Everybody's posting some video here and there. Zach Seiler. Right, here we go. Here's the Zach Seiler thing.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Miami Sports Music. Hit the like button, guys. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. And share the link. Let people know that we're live right now. TD's channel got shut down at camp. Camp police made him stop streaming. Ah.
Damn.
All right, this looks like Skyler.
That would have been a would-be sack.
You think?
I mean, look at the guy come right in.
All right, pause. So let me go back. What's the set like here? 1, 2, tight ends up here, 3, 4. So 5 potential receivers with the tight end standing up. Oh man, look. Is that Skyler 92?
Yeah, that's Skyler.
Oh my God, he blew up the center. Who was
bro.
that? Who's the center here?
That's probably Connor Williams. That's probably Connor. I can't make out the number, but that's probably a would-be sack.
And 98 got through too.
That's Raekwon Davis.
Boy, them boys are going to eat this year, man.
Yeah, that defensive line looks dominant, man.
Them boys are going to eat this year.
It's either they're dominant, Steven, or our offensive line is.
I'm going to say it's a ladder. It's probably a mix between the two. I think that's fair. I'm not trying to dog our offensive line, but I know what I got with and without him, you know?
Right.
Am I wrong for saying that?
No, you're not. I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, here we go. We got a 2 and a Tyreek highlight. You guys ready? Guys, hit the like button. Only 58 likes, over 120 of y'all watching. We're bringing you exclusive content today, guys. This is great content, man. They run that play twice today, at least.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same play. And you know what I've noticed a lot today? A lot of backfield protection.
Right. Yeah.
Have you noticed that too?
I have. Huh?
I wish we could zoom in a little bit more on this. I see 2 in the backfield here. Tight end standing straight up. And again, that running back is wide open in the flat all day long. Raheem,
absolutely.
On the 2 plays we've seen that are very similar, look at Raheem. He's wearing the orange jersey.
Mm-hmm.
No defender in sight. Wide open. Just hit him. Just hit him.
Yep.
And that's a touchdown with his speed. Am I wrong?
Well, I don't know if it's a touchdown, but it's a big game.
Do you get mad at this time of year? Does it bother you when you don't see moves like that, or are you okay because they're testing out what's there and what's not there?
Yeah, I think for me, I think they know that they have that outlet in the bag, so they're just testing out new things. They're gonna, this is the time you try things in training camp to see if it works. But I would hopefully that in a game, that's where Tua is going with the ball, or Skyler, or Mike White, or anybody else.
Now, all these are recorded. All these practices are recorded. So is that something where the quarterback coach and McDaniel are sitting with Tua and Skyler and all these guys and basically saying, hey, guys, look, these running backs are going to get wide open in the flats because defenses are going to have to adjust for what's on the outside. They have to give respect to Tyreek and Jalen and Chosen or Barrios or whoever's there. And Durham Smythe looks like he could eat a lot too. I have to admit, if you gave me one person that was going to have a step-up year, Durham Smythe would not have been on the list. That's real. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just telling you what I would have thought.
Yeah, listen, and I've killed Durham Smythe the past couple of weeks, but yeah, what I've seen so far today, I mean, it is encouraging. He's a Dolphin, so I definitely want the kid to do well.
All right, here's another look, 2 backfield set, right? You got Raheem on one side. I don't know who's on the other. You got 3 wide receivers, 1, 2, 3. Let's see what they're running on defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, another 4-3. Wide open. Wide open in the flat, Lewis.
Yeah, it's there all day.
All right, this might have been the play we saw earlier, though, to be fair. This might have been the same play we saw earlier. It is the same play. It is the same play we saw earlier.
The outside linebacker, did he blitz on that play?
Damn sure did. Yep.
Right there on the edge, yeah.
So now, so that's interesting to note. We didn't notice that the first time.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Who is that? Who's playing the outside linebacker there?
I don't know. See, I would imagine
right here, right? This guy.
Yeah, coming right off the edge. Yeah.
So that leaves 2 linebacking sets here.
That's probably Jerome Baker.
They're putting a lot of faith in that secondary with 2 linebackers and only 4 people in the backfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, essentially it's like a 4-2-5 is what they're doing.
And they're basically with this guy right here. He's the only guy that's going to prevent if Raheem gets that ball.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And if you're asking me if these two guys here are on Tyreek and this person's on Jalen and whoever's on wide receiver 3 here, are you not taking Raheem one-on-one with the far corner on the other side of the field?
All day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, man. All freaking day. Pamela says, if we hit the running back or the tide in a few plays, on plays, we are going to be wide open everywhere because we're just dangerous. 34 base and blitzing on the edge. I'm hitting refresh, guys. I'm trying to find more content. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Sitting here trying to find stuff for y'all. Dolphins long snapper Blake Ferguson runs over to congratulate River Craycraft after a sliding catch to secure a punt return. Skyler would be sack on second 11-on-11 session. Teron Armstead is indeed off the PUP list, effective today. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
So I don't think we have anybody on the PUP list except for Nick Needham now.
It's probably just Needham. Yep.
Needham's the only person on the PUP list now. Let's see what else. Here we go. This is from yesterday, but screw it. We'll play it from yesterday.
All right.
This is from yesterday's practice. Not full pads, but still, decent to note. Yeah, look, another person in the backfield. How many times did we see a running back in the backfield last year? Was it something that was done a lot? I feel like it. I didn't notice it. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was just something that I didn't notice. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know.
No, I agree. But who is that?
I don't know, but he's blocking.
No, the one. No, look, no. Watch
right here, right?
No, the one on the opposite side. Look, the one that goes in motion.
There's got a 1 on him. So this might be Jeff Wilson here, and then
okay, who's that?
Alec, 88. Who's 88? Is that Durham? That's not Durham Smythe.
No, 88. Is that new tight end Croft or whatever? Or is that 28? Is that A-Chain?
Freddie Swain is number 88.
Oh, so it's Freddie Swain. So they're lining up receivers in the backfield, Steven, because look how fast this guy is. Look, that's not Alex Ingle. And right there, that's wide open.
I think that's 88. Oh, they're saying that's 82, Eric Saubert. It looks like it. Yeah, it's 82. It's 82.
Oh, well, I'm hitting Saubert coming out of the flat. Look at this. Wide open.
I wonder what type of speed Saubert has.
I don't know, but he looked fast right there. And if that was Saubert, and again, we just seen an incompletion. The flat is there all day, bro.
Neil Driscoll says Dolphins rookie cornerback Cam Smith just has that dog in him. Going to be one hell of a player. Tua with a 16-yard reception to Braylon Sanders on a slant. Perfect pass. Dolphins Tua continues to be lethal in the middle of the field. He slices and dices the seams and has since day one. That's from Joe Shad. Love hearing that. Love hearing that. God, I wish Twitter was what it used to be, that when you hit refresh, it only brings up the recent and not ones that we've seen. Dolphins Tua misses Eric Ezukama on deep throw. TD saying Tua connects over the middle for 12. Bad ball placement on defense. It was bad ball placement behind, but still caught. Sorry, I couldn't catch the receiver. Nice run for 20 plus by number 26.
That's Ahmed.
Is that Ahmed?
Yep. They say Ahmed's been balling at training camp.
All right, let's see here. Christian Wilkins just burst through the offensive line and wrapped up the ball carrier for backfield tackle. Cam Smith, very active today, almost had another pick 6 on Skyler. I love the Cam Smith stuff, man.
I'm hearing too many almost interception with Cam Smith, though. That's like the third or fourth.
It's like the third or fourth almost on Cam Smith today. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just, look, he's getting at the ball on the first day of pads.
Put some stickum on that man's hands.
Put some stickum on that man's hands. Let's go. All I can think of is Little Giants.
Yeah.
David Fornes, 34 seconds ago. Christian Wilkins completely blows up a run, secures TFL without tackling to the ground, and gives the offense a DK Mutombo finger wag. No. Christian Wilkins is so good. I'm actually psyched up for some of this content today. Like, this is great. Omar Kelly says Bradley Chubb sniffs out a naked boot that ends in an incompletion. Some of these guys just have a nose of where the ball is going to go, right?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate a little bit more on what Chubb can be in the right defense and what Fangio can bring to him, like what he was in December?
Listen, I think he's a great edge setter. I think he doesn't get the credit in the run. Everybody wants him to be, a pass rusher and get the double-digit sacks, which I want as well. But the little things like that, he's a great again, like I said, setting the edge. And I just think in this defense, when it's going to be dynamic, man. And if, again, from the interior, if we start putting Agba and he starts getting causing pressure, if Christian Wilkins takes the next step, he starts getting pressure. We know what Seiler does. Bold take, Steven. I've said it already. I believe Chubb and Phillips both get double digits this year.
Really?
Now, I don't know if one is at 17 and one is at 13 or whatever. I'm not saying that, but I see both?
You think they're both going to eat real good this year?
I think Phillips and Chubb both get double digits sacks this year.
Hey, from your mouth to God's ears, I hope that happens. I would love to see that.
I do believe that.
130 of y'all plus in the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys sign up to become a member of the channel. Subscribe. Let's go. TD Fins Talk saying Mozart gets again stuffed for 1 yard. David Long comes through and destroys Mozart in the back or there, not in the backfield, but there. David Long going to have another big year, or going to have a big year. Omar Kelly, 30 seconds ago. David Long out here thumping. This is something a Landon Roberts would do to set the tone. Hitters want to hit. I like it. Kyle Krabs saying David Long has been shooting the gaps like crazy. Whoo, he's quick, quote, end quote. Some good reps from the defensive line today. Josiah Bronson just came from the backside to tag Mozart for a run stuff. Daniel Oyefusi 1 minute ago. TD Fins Talk to a clean pocket over, fires target that was wide open for about 20 yards out. Dove, but couldn't get it. Hard to see the receiver number when the jersey rolled up. David Long is everywhere today. It's clear why Fangio chose him as the first add to the new Dolphins defense. Nando Talk just tweeted. David Fornes, David Long getting active, back-to-back run stuffs. Great reads and pursuit. TD Fins Talk, Mike White play action would be sick or intentional grounding. Who do you think QB2?
I think it's Skyler.
You think it's Skyler?
I do think it's Skyler. I think second year in this system, I think the comfort level they got with Skyler. And plus, again, I think the deal for Mike White is about $4 million. and he can go up to 8 with like incentives. I don't think Miami wants to pay all that. So
TD Finns Talk says Christian Wilkins stuffed A-Chain for a negative gain in the backfield. Wow. Capital wow.
well, the good thing about today is we've heard positive plays on the offense and defense. So it sounds like both units are eating, and that's good to see, man. Or at least here.
Dolphins Cam Smith had an interception opportunity with Tua missing Tyreek deep, but the ball hit the deck out of bounds. So it means he caught it, but it would have been out of bounds. So he did catch it, but it would have been out of bounds.
I'm loving everything I'm hearing about Cam Smith, man.
Omar Kelly, 39 seconds ago. Cam Smith is in great position to pull in a Tua interception along the left sideline and doesn't even make an effort for it. Got twisted up, but he saw it, go get it. Cam Smith's name has been everywhere through everybody's. Nando's, TD's.
He's a monster.
Omar's, Joe Shad, Safid Dean. They're all singing praises of Cam Smith today.
But he was balling yesterday, too. It was the same thing yesterday.
Looks like a miscommunication between Tua and Tyreek on deep throw. Hill cut inside as Tua threw towards the sideline. That stuff's got to get cleaned up. Those things can kill a drive and kill a team. I saw you shake your head, but look, this is where that stuff gets ironed out. I get it, but
I'm not worried about that.
It's got to be better.
Oh, yeah. I'm more worried about, I think those are just miscommunications. I think they'll figure that stuff out. Some of the reports that we heard, Tyreek and Waddle having drops today, I can't have none of those. See, that's a bigger issue for me. Our two number one drop passes by Waddle and Hill.
Yeah,
two number one guys. Those are
they both drop passes. No, they both drop would-be touchdown passes today. They said
no. See, that's more concerning for me. Yeah, that's more concerning to me than a miscommunication between receiver and quarterback. Those things can get worked out, but you got it again. Receivers, I'm giving Cam Smith a hard time for almost interceptions. I expect anything that hits the ball, hits your hands, you got to come up with.
TD Finns Talk. Last two tweets. Skyler looking real good on a deep crossing route to Waddle for maybe 25 yards. I believe left tackle was holding, though, from what I saw, but no call. TD Finns Talk said Tua just throws it up and almost got picked by Cam Smith downfield. No structure in his decision-making on the play with a slap to the face emoji. I'm trying to give you everybody's. David Long is a problem. He's feeling himself. All right, here we go. We got another video here. This looks like this is from Bobby Schaus.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
David Long.
All right, let's look here. So, by the way, we got a fullback. We got a fullback, running back in the backfield. Tight end. Tight end down on the ground. One wide receiver.
And 3 defensive linemen. And then Phillips
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the line of scrimmage for the defense.
Yep.
The corner's not even playing the receiver here.
No.
By the way, this wide receiver getting free, they're not even paying attention to him. I would love to see Tua roll out and keep the ball on this, and this guy come through here. But you'd still have 47 and 33 to worry about. But
who's 47?
47. Malik Reed.
Okay. Yeah, I think a Tua bootlegs out of there, though. I think Malik Reed's killing that.
Right there, line of scrimmage. 51. Boy, David Long is a monster, boy.
David Long's gonna
He
be
is
nice.
a monster. Look how it all right, so timeout. Here he is, right here. This is David Long, middle linebacker. Watch what he does. You could see him leaning towards that side.
Right.
You saw, look, here it is. Watch him start leading towards where the ball going before it even snapped.
Oof.
And got right there to the line of scrimmage all day.
And that first step is explosive. When he reads and recognizes where that ball's going, I mean, look at him. Bam. He is there.
Who is blocking downfield? Who is this? Who's that right there? Wide receiver. That's a good block.
That was a pretty good block.
17. Is that Waddle? That's not
That's
Waddle.
Waddle.
He's not tall enough to be Waddle. That's not 17. It can't be.
Well, you can't tell from that, that probably is Waddle.
47.
47 as a wide receiver?
Oh, it might be 37. That might be Myles Gaskin.
Gaskin's out there leading, blocking?
Wait, it looks like a 4, though. It doesn't look like a 3. 47. Is there a 47 on the team? I don't even see a 47.
You told me 47 was Malik Reed.
Yeah, but on offense. So then, yeah,
that's ain't gonna be 247. They got to be Gaskins if it's 37.
It's got to be Gaskins if there's a 7 on the end of it. Could Gaskins make this team alone on his blocks? On his block?
No.
Skill? I don't think so.
No. Especially if they're trying to get a free agent running back or a trade for a running back. Gaskins ain't making this team.
All right. Big gain off the left side for Myles Gaskin, who might have beat the defense to the edge. Skyler, nice connect in the zone for 12 to number 88. Which is Freddie Swain. Freddie Swain's name has been said a few times, like the number.
Hey, I'm getting text messages, and they're telling me that was Waddle.
That was Waddle?
Yeah, on that block. They're saying that was Waddle.
Crazy.
Hey, Waddle put in that
Great
work.
Block.
Yeah, Waddle definitely put in that work. Shout out to Dade County. He's the one that let me know that. So
thank you, Dade.
Shout out to Dade.
TD Finstock says Tua misfires for incompletion on short pass. How can you not see X right there on the play? Also would have been an O-line holding call on the flag play. TD's been the only one that's been calling out what flags would be on the plays today. I will say that. I think that's the third tweet that would have said if there was a flag. Oh, Daniel, as I say that, I'm corrected. Vic Fangio, Daniel Yafusi. Vic Fangio just threw a late flag and called for holding on Xavier Howard. So no conspiring for the defense. I like that. He's calling out his own guys.
Yeah, for sure. So who would you say, Steven, from your opinion, is winning the day? Defense or offense?
I mean, I've heard a lot of both. If I had to say, I would say the defense seems to be a little bit more. Offense is having a better day than it did yesterday, from what I've heard. But defense is still big. TD Finstock just said Tua sacked Chubb. Tua sacked by Chubb. He just won't get rid of the ball. Safid Dean, Bradley Chubb with another sack today. TD just said, Jesus, David Long stuffed Moser again in the backfield. That's 3 times now. Now, does this go back to your conversation earlier of, is this more of an indication of how our offensive line isn't that good or how good our defense is? What is your answer to that question, to your own question?
I would say the defense has kind of won the day for me again. I think the defense has won all the days at training camp, to be honest. I mean, not saying the offense ain't having good plays or nothing like that, but I don't know. I think this is I think the defense is taking off. Is
You there? Somebody call you?
internet cut out for a minute. Yeah. No, I think the defense is kind of winning the days, in my opinion.
This would have been a sack.
Yeah.
Bradley Chubb is raising his hand in the air. All right, so let's look at the defense here, by the way. All right, so make sure the sound's off. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 defense, 3 linebackers. How many people are on the line of scrimmage? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on the offensive line, 1 person in the backfield, and trips on the wide receivers here.
Yep.
So who gets through? Oh, all right, so who comes here? There we go. So there's that 2 tight end set that we saw a lot last year, did we not?
We did. Who's that? Is that Elijah Higgins?
It's 18 or 19. That might be Ezukama.
18 is Ezukama, yep.
Elijah Higgins is number 84.
Yep.
So yeah, this right here is Eric Ezukama, who straight misses the block. But thank God there's one right here. So Tua needs to be throwing the ball now. There's nothing open.
Right.
So you have X here. You have the 2 linebackers here. So I won't say that he's sacked just yet. Although Eric Ezukama might have been holding. And if he gets rid of it here. Yeah. Jalen Phillips was right there too.
Right.
Look at it one more time. Eric Ezukama comes in motion. Fake out of the backfield. I don't know. It's not the greatest play in the world, but you can definitely see how some of this stuff is just like it's starting to take effect.
Right.
Now they're going to get into the film room today and they're going to see all this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's going to be. TD Finns Talk says, last play, Tua again just mindlessly fires deep, and Holland almost gets the pick. Ends up as a pass breakup. Daniel Oyefusi says, strong end to Dolphins practice for the defense. Phillips applies pressure off the edge and screen to signal a sack, and then Holland denies a wide receiver of a jump ball pass to Tua. Dolphins practice ends with Javon Holland's pass breakup on Jalen Waddle. Believe Jalen Phillips got into the backfield on that play as well. Nando talks says Tua ends the day with a nice 30-yard-ish pass to Waddle to the end with a great catch. Uno. This is somebody's. Let's look at this. That is a great pass. Do you see where that pass is?
That was nice. Hit him right on the money.
Oh, my God. It was such a great pass. I will say it definitely sounds like there was more defensive plays today than there was offense. Christian Wilkins with a sack of Tua broke through the line like a hot knife going through butter. Omar Kelly tweeting. Don't like that. I think they have to be able to change what they're these little things here. This is from the Dolphins. This is Skyler.
Cam out here making plays.
That would have been a catch if Cam wasn't there. That's for sure. Cam Smith. It's a great throw. I can't even be mad at the throw. He led the receiver. Barrios was in the right spot. That's just a great play by Cam Smith.
I need that interception right there.
It's day one of practice, and you're mad that Cam Smith's out here just touching the ball. He out here breaking up plays, man.
I need it in my life, Steven. I need interceptions in my life. No, that was a great play by Cam. I ain't gonna lie. Kid is balling.
TD Finstalk says today Skyler dominated the reps. Not sure why.
Well, no, to be fair to TD, I heard yesterday from Ali and Color. Again, shout out to those guys. They said that Mike White got a lot of reps and Skyler did not yesterday. So they're probably just interchanging, yesterday was Mike White's day, today would be Skyler's. So
Mike White takes 5-yard pass, but a wide open receiver deep with no one around it and missed it. That was from him earlier. Let's see what else. Nando Talk says David Long is fast, man. The guy is first every time, everywhere. Kyle Crabb says affirmation for Elijah Higgins' interest. Looks like there's a plan for a role here. You didn't hear his name a lot today, but maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
John Kristalakis says Cam Smith needs to start day one.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
He keeps on having days like this. He's going to. Like, it's not even going to be a question.
I'm not moving. I know a lot of people want to put Cater Kohu at the boundary. I'm not doing that. I'm leaving Cater inside. And Cam Smith got selected in the second round with a first-round grade on him. He had the talent as a first-round pick. And I'm sorry, if Xavier or if Jalen Ramsey's here, yeah, Cam Smith, we can kind of slow play you and stuff. But it's next man up right now, and I believe Cam Smith should be opposite of X week 1 as a boundary corner and keep Cater inside.
All right, here we go. Some quotes on the day. You ready to hear some of these? Durham Smythe said, we have the most talented front seven in the NFL. It's a chore. I like that. I mean, he sees it. He sees what this defense is going to do and how they're going to play it. And they're going to be tough. And by the way, what we saw out of the few highlight videos today, they were just playing vanilla 4-3s and blitzing a person here or there from the side. Right? That's all we saw. We didn't see what the scheme's going to be. We saw vanilla 4-3 defenses where maybe the linebacker comes up and blitzes, or maybe the corner comes up and blitzes, but they're everywhere. And David Long seems to be the guy that is there first at the, like it's kind of funny. Zach Thomas getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this week. He was the same way. Like, I'm not saying David Long is Zach Thomas, but that's what you heard about Zach Thomas, is he was the first everywhere on the ball every time.
Right.
And that's what you want out of your middle linebacker.
Absolutely.
Omar Kelly saying, I like Kendall Lamb at left tackle. He is definitely swingman number 1. Interesting. What do you take from that?
Man, I don't know. I always thought that Isaiah Wynn, I know he's probably going to start out at guard, but I would assume that if Terran Armstead went down without any reason, it would have been Wynn. But Omar saying it would be Kendall Lamb. I mean, I don't know. Bro, there was reports yesterday they had Kendall Lamb at right guard.
They did. I heard that too.
So where was
him everywhere on the line? He said swingman. So, look, you could also take from a fact that he's going to be plug and play somewhere,
Right.
Marcel Lewis Jock said Jalen Phillips rips through Austin Jackson with ease on the last play of practice and was fired up afterwards. He and Chubb have been excellent through the early parts of training camp so far.
Love hearing it. I told you guys about 30 minutes ago, I believe both of those guys are getting double digits. So I love what I'm hearing coming out of the middle with David Long Jr. I love the interior pressure that we're getting from Seiler and Wilkins, Raekwon and them boys. And even Agba jumped in yesterday in the inside. And now hearing Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. Bro, again, this defense has a chance to be – hell, we were talking about top 10 this defense could end up being top 5.
John Kristalakis says, I've never seen the Dolphins play with this tenacity before. Neil Driscoll says, there's a different energy surrounding this team. The Jalen Ramsey news could have deflated them, but it's done the opposite. The Miami Dolphins are for real. Would you agree with those?
I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. I am pumped, Steven. I am pumped.
Joe Robbie says, I've been assessing Mike McDaniel's first 2 draft classes, and all I'm going to say is Greer was never the problem, and some apologies need to be had. Interesting. I would like to know what he means by that a little bit more. I'm going to tweet to him later to expand.
Taking shots.
This is pretty cool. Andrew Van Ginkel out here signing autographs. Show you a little bit of that. Seems to have a long line.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about training camp. Like I said, there's pros and cons, and this is definitely a pros. You got players, you get access to them. They come over, they talk to you a little bit, sign stuff. So good to see the guys giving back. For sure. It's been a little time.
I love seeing all the Dolphins fans here. And the little Dolphins fans, too.
For sure. Absolutely. Look at Van Ginkel's hair, man.
I know. Looks like a rock star.
And that guy is a rock star.
I hope he turns out to be really, really good for them. Oh, here we go. This is Miami Dolphins just tweeted this out. That's that play that we saw earlier, remember? Where the guy was wide open in the flat and he caught it.
Yep. Who's that? Is that Mike White or Skyler throwing that?
That's Skyler. Actually, that wasn't the play then. They just threw that play a lot today. It looks like it. Because Tua was the guy in that one play that we saw. They're out here showing Skylar Thompson to Tyreek highlights on the Dolphins Instagram.
That's a nice throw, though.
See that. Do not let Pete see this. Pete gonna be all over this on Twitter.
Hey, that's a nice throw, though.
It is a nice one.
That's a nice throw. Give the kid credit, man.
Durham Smythe on facing Fangio's defense. Every rep you got to get better or you're going to get embarrassed. It's the most talented front seven in the NFL and the best front seven he's ever seen, Durham Smythe. That's crazy. I mean, that's the stuff I like to hear.
It could be crazy, but it could be true, Steven.
That's
true. This defense could be dominant, man. And by all indications from the first 3 to 4 days of training camp, it is.
TD Finns talk. Despite the interception to start today's camp, Skylar Thompson actually was the best quarterback on the field today.
Hey, y'all need to stop.
TD, stop it, TD.
Shout out to the homie TD, man. Shout out.
He said Skylar was the best quarterback on the field today.
Shout out to the homie, man.
Pete and TD out here with the propaganda at its best. Hey, Jalen Waddle, number 44 on the top 100 list officially. I like it.
He cracked the top 50 then.
He's cracked Jalen Waddle, number 44 on the top 100 on the NFL's top 100 list.
So that's 4 that we got in as Dolphins.
Yep.
We have figured Tyreek's going to be on there. You would imagine. Jalen Ramsey, does he make the list?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course he does. He has to.
Oh, okay, so we should have 6 Miami Dolphin players in the top 100.
Say what?
Because we already had 3. We had Armstead, Tua, and Christian Wilkins. Now Waddle. Assuming Tyreek and Jalen Ramsey get in, the Dolphins have 6 top 100 players on the roster.
Yes. Yes.
When was the last time we could say that, Steven?
Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait.
We should all be excited.
No, I'm very excited for seeing what I see. Jalen Ramsey on if it was hot enough at practice today. Quote, I wish it was hotter.
Mm.
Here we go. This is Robert Hunt about Durham Smythe's comment of, is this the best front seven in the NFL?
No, I wouldn't say my favorite yet, man. It's fun to compete against those guys, though. It's a back and forth type of deal, you know. One day they have our number, next day we may have theirs. So it's good, man. It's fun competition.
But it's not fun when you're not the pads on, right? And they're getting
yeah, but see, that's when they kind of, you know, they think they got a little more than they probably would have, you know, in the real segment. But, you know, we let them have it, and then we try to come back and do what we do. But it wasn't perfect by no means.
Robert trying to play it all, boy.
You mentioned that back and
They're
forth.
not the best front
That could
seven.
see just a competition. It's not just one side always winning. You guys are on the same team, so you guys are both getting after each other.
Yeah, it's really good to see, man. I mean, we got a team full of, you know, competitors and guys that's, you know, that's good, man. So it's fun to compete, man. It's good to see that, you know, going back and forth. It's not just one side just taking off, and then, you know how they go. And we know how they get like the footage, you know. So it's fun to go back and forth. No, I wouldn't say my favorite.
What do you think
man.
from that, Louis? What's your reaction to Robert Hunt's Robert Hunt's reaction about they're not the best, but you know, we give it to them, they give it to us.
Yeah, I think that's the way it should be. I think he's kind of downplaying it a little bit, you know, trying to kind of pep talk his guys up front on the offensive line a little bit, but you know, I mean, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. I think Robert Hunt is trying not to let the cat out of the bag, you know. I think he knows what this defense is about.
I love how this man is just trying to give his kid to Tua. Just trying to put him over there. Hey, sign my baby. Sign everything here, including sign my baby. Tua's a man of the people. The Tua is not the best quarterback on the field, according to TD. I'm gonna have to bring TD up here. The slander's real, TD.
Where's TD at? Where's TD at?
Jalen Phillips. I love you know, this is the best part, you know, them, you know, signing the autographs, being with the fans. If y'all get a chance to go out to training camp, you must do it. It's something, you know, look, it's hot. Don't get it twisted, but
it's hot.
I do like it nonetheless. Here we go. Skylar Thompson.
You know, there's always some plays you wish you had back. You know, it's the nature of the game. But I feel like, you know, coming into the second year, kind of knowing what's expected, you know, knowing what's expected of me on a daily basis, what the schedule looks like, what practice looks like. You know, it's not my first time doing it, which I felt like has naturally kind of allowed me just to relax a little bit. And really just, you know, it's my second time hearing the language of the offense. So you know, everything's not new to me this year. So I feel like that's allowed me to, you know, start moving on to second and third level things in the offense, understanding certain things. So I feel like that's helped me. When you said second and third, you know, there's always some plays.
What do you think from that, Louis? What do you take from that?
I think he, you know, it's absolutely. I think every quarterback would want a certain throw here or a certain play here. They would want it back. But listen, again, when I hear Skylar, we always get it's for every player. The second year in this system is going to benefit everyone, and that's including Skylar Thompson. I think he's going to be better than last year. On all accounts, everything I've heard, you know, again, we heard multiple times Tua almost was picked off today. So if Skylar threw on interception or he was almost picked off, I mean, things are going to happen. But by all accounts, bro, Skylar looks bigger. He looks stronger. He looks more confident. So, I mean, as Dolphin fans, we should want all our players to be getting better, right? Like, it's not because we don't want Skylar on the field, we should just hate him. Like, no, bro, I want Skylar to be better too.
This is Cam Smith on his day so far today.
things we're able to learn from X and Jalen in the short time that we've been here?
Really a lot of stuff. Even after every rep, almost every rep I go ask them like, what you seen, what I did wrong, like did I take any false steps or anything? They just let me know everything, and then they put their little vet touch on it.
Hey, look, man, Cam Smith might slowly become one of my favorite players.
He's a dog.
He might be up there. He working his way up there on my my favorite player list.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot to like about that, right? Like a rookie, you know, it's one thing for a veteran to go up and say, hey, look, you know, this is what you're doing wrong. It's another thing for a rookie to go up to the veteran after every play and say, hey, look, man, let's break this down. What can I do better? And to show that initiation and show that tells me a lot about the player that Cam Smith wants to be. And for me, I mean, this man sounds like he wants to have a significant role in the defense on this team.
Absolutely. Listen, I think he has a mission that he wants to be on the field. He wants to be that boundary guy. I think he sees an opportunity now with Ramsey being out. And, you know, from all accounts and everything we're hearing, bro, he's been a monster at training camp. Like, he's everywhere. And it's not only locking up guys like Braxton Berrios he's locking up Hill and Waddle and from a second-round rookie, this is everything we want to hear. I mean, at least for me, I'm excited for Cam Smith. I really am.
Robert, you know, this is the first day of pads, and most NFL teams on the first day of pads, you get fights. You get some sort of fight. And so this is Robert Hunt on the Dolphins not having any fights on the first day of pads.
I doubt if anybody will fight. If you fight, that's just on you. Like you different. You got a little more energy than everybody else. You know what I mean? I have no will and want to fight anybody. So yeah, we can call it professionalism or whatever they're gonna call it, but the heat is what it really got.
He said, "Ain't nobody fighting because of this heat out here." He said, "You call it what you want. It's the heat. That's why we ain't fighting out here."
You different. You got a little more energy than everybody else.
Are you okay with when teammates fight on the first day of pads? Like, it doesn't bother you, right?
No, absolutely. It don't bother me.
Like, you know, there's some, you know, you look at some. I think it all depends on how it's done, but for me, it's part of, you know, not seeing any fights today also tells me that this team likes each other and that they're all trying to get better and be competitive. Maybe we will see a fight if the offense keeps on struggling to the defense this week.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Christian Wilkins can get under your skin in a minute.
Well, but it's not. See, I think when we talk about fighting, right, it's not about who's throwing punches or nothing. Because we heard it yesterday. I mean, or 2 days ago. Zach Seiler and Christian Wilkins were chirping in everybody's face and everybody's ear. I mean, that's kind of like fighting. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to see people taking off their helmets and swinging at each other for me to think it's a fight. I think healthy competition, people getting in each other's faces.
Competition maybe a little breeds competition.
Bro, a little pushing and shoving between brothers never hurt nobody.
It never hurt nobody. This is from Chris Perkins, Jerome Baker on the team on the first day of pads, and David Long, who balled out today.
We got the potential to be good. I think right now, first day, everybody got energy, everybody's ready to go. It's easy on day one, but when you get to day 6, 7, 8, that's when you can see how good you can do. So today is a good day. It's always going to be a good day on day one. You got some potential, you just got to just keep going.
What do you think about David Long today? I mean, I really noticed him today, but maybe that's just me.
No,
but, yeah.
Everybody noticed him. He was flying around. I don't know who's going to have the orange jersey next, but my guess is going to be him. He was flying around, man. He was just having fun, flying around. It was fun to watch.
Today.
Hey, man, from your mouth to God's ears, I think Jerome Baker hit the nail on the head. David Long should definitely have the orange jersey tomorrow for the Miami Dolphins. Would you agree with Jerome's assessment there?
I agree from everything we were playing today and hearing. I mean, the guy was flying around making plays, man. So Absolutely. I think David Long, the next time we see them at practice, should have the orange jersey.
There's just a lot to like about David Long and what the potential of what he could bring to this team. And to be fair, you know, it's one of the reasons, and somebody said it in a tweet today, and I mentioned it. It's the exact reason why he was the first non-Dolphin signed by Vic Fangio. I think Ginkle was the first, and then David Long was right after that.
Right.
And there's just something about to like about him. Like he's going to be that good, and I'm excited about it. Cater Kahoo joined Cameron Wolf on NFL Network. I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll play you the sound. So let me pull it up here and we'll listen to it. I don't want to get any copyrights thing, but I'll play the sound here. Go back here. All right, this is Cater Kahoo with Cameron Wolf joining NFL Network.
Here, joined by Cater Kahoo, Dolphins talented second-year safety. I talked to Xavier Howard earlier this week and said, give me one guy we're going to know a lot about this year. Without hesitation, he said, Cater. What does that mean when you hear that?
Man, that means a lot coming from a guy like X, man. My fault. He coming from a guy like X, man. He's done it in the league. He's one of the best players in the league. He's an all-star. So coming from him saying that he feels like I'm going to have a good year, then, man, that means a lot.
And I'm looking at a guy right here behind you, Jalen Waddle, practice against every day. It's Tyreek Hill. What are those battles been like? Looks like you've been doing pretty well in one-on-ones and 7-on-7 drills.
Man, going against those guys, I feel like they're one-on-one. Like, it's nobody like Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill in the NFL. So when you go against them, I feel like, I'm not going to say it makes the game easier, but it's not too much you're going to see after that you haven't seen in practice. Guys might be bigger, but that's really about it. Coming from a speed-wise rider, and I feel like they're two of the best in the league. So going against them in practice every day makes me just better.
Obviously, you guys made a big addition for Jalen Ramsey this offseason, but you lose him for the knee injury. What have been the conversations like in the cornerback room about the guys who need to step up now that he's not going to be with you guys for the rest of for much of the year?
Man, come from last year, I feel like we was kind of in the same position, but next man up, whoever want to make some money, man, just step up to the plate, just do your job.
Absolutely. You talk about making money. Yesterday, you got the orange jersey, which is given to the player who had the best practice day. Tell us a little bit about your playlist and what the reaction was.
Man, I'm not going to lie. I feel like my playlist was real good, but the volume was a little low, so the guys couldn't really hear it. So when I went in the locker room, I tried to ask around, but you couldn't get an honest opinion because, they probably heard like a few songs at the beginning of practice, and the practice was kind of quiet from the volume standpoint. But I feel like I had a good playlist. I had Future on there and stuff like that.
I heard it was jamming to me. I don't know what they were saying, but it was jamming to me. Speaking of jerseys, I want to ask you this. You were number 4. There's been conversations about Dalvin Cook here in Miami and what that happens. He wears number 4. What is that number if he came here that he would have to get? Is there a number that he could pay you for that jersey?
I had to sit and think about that. I don't know.
It'd be a number, but it'd probably be big, right?
I really not. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like 4.
You like 4?
Yeah, I like
it. Good on you. It looks good on you. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. All right, so let me ask you this. Your nickname that a lot of fans have.
All right, let's. I mean, look, that's interesting, right? Cater Kahoo basically saying if Dalvin Cook does show up here, I don't know if he's going to get the number 4. What are your thoughts about that, Lewis?
I think if Dalvin did end up coming and Dalvin could make the money work for him, I think Cater at the end of the day would give it up to him. But for me, I'd rather have A-Chain get out of 28, if you know what I mean.
Interesting.
You know who wears 28? Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. You are stuck on this Jonathan Taylor.
I am pushing that narrative, Steven. I ain't even gonna lie.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying, like,
bring JT home.
Bring JT home. That's what we saying now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about we. I know I.
By the way, number 50 through 41 of the NFL's top 100 list. 50 is defensive end from the Saints, Cameron Jordan. 49, cornerback of the Broncos, Patrick Surtain the second or junior. Eagles, Hassan Reddick, number 48. Rams, wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, number 47. Jets, linebacker, CJ Mosley, number 46. Steelers, defensive lineman, Cameron Hayward, number 45. Number 44, Miami Dolphins, wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. Number 43, linebacker from the Saints, Demario Davis. Number 42, quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. And number 41, Eagles offensive tackle, Lane Johnson. I would not put Kirk ahead of Jalen. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Damn, there was somebody else that I couldn't believe was on that list neither.
All right. Hey, Batman wants to get on and tell us what his eyes of what he thought happened at practice. You want to do that?
I'm done. I got a couple more minutes.
All right, let's figure out. Well, this will be the last thing. Well, unless TD comes up here at the last second. But Batman, get on here. Tell us what you saw at practice. What are your thoughts? If you were at practice today and want to get on real quick and just give us your thoughts, we'd love to hear from you. I dropped the link in the chat for you, so it's definitely there. Get on, and I'll be more than happy to hear from you and what your thoughts were at practice. Live from training camp of the Miami Dolphins in his car. I guess he just finished up. Batman, what's up, Batman? How are you?
Batman.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Good morning.
What's going on? How are you, man?
What's going on, bro?
Pretty good, man. Listen, I posted it on Twitter, man. A-Chain, like I told Lewis, he asked me, how do you look yesterday, right? And obviously, we thought we were going to wear pads yesterday. It didn't happen. We wore pads today. He had 2 runs back-to-back on 11-on-11 drills for like 10 to 15 yards. He has some good speed on him, and he was down the middle, too. He's not afraid of contact. He likes the contact. And, yeah, I think, obviously, people are going to talk about other players, but listen, A-Chain, I think, I'm not going to say he's as good as advertised, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good. I'll say that. He's pretty good.
What was
another thing I want to say with Mike White? I noticed yesterday, Mike White and Tua, they're on their own. There's just them two. Skyler's not even a part of the conversation. They walk around together. They left the field right now. They were the last to leave the field together after signing autographs for the kids. They leave. Skyler is not even part of like that group of quarterbacks as far as like the interaction between them. And Mike White yesterday looked good, and today he looked good as well. I mean, I'm not trying to diss on Skyler.
TD tweeted earlier. TD tweeted that Skylar Thompson was the best looking quarterback today at camp.
Not at all. He threw an interception. He almost threw a second interception to Cam Smith. No, not at all. Not even close. It's not even close.
Who was the best quarterback at practice today?
It's a flip of a coin between Tua and Mike White.
You better not say it, Batman.
I'm waiting for it.
It's a flip of a coin between Mike White. It's a flip of a coin between Mike White and Tua. Like, they both had impressive plays. I'm not going to lie.
Well, like I'm getting contradicting reports now. TD's telling me Skyler was the best. You're telling me it was a toss between Tua and Mike White. I don't know who to believe, man.
Twitter will tell you. Twitter will tell you. Nobody's talking about Skyler. Nobody.
But I think all 3 quarterbacks, didn't they have, like, I heard several reports that Tua almost had near interceptions. So,
yes, he had a near interception to Cam Smith.
Bro,
Cam Smith almost had 2 near interceptions, one on Tua and one on Skyler.
Batman, how does Cam Smith look to you? Like, what are your first thoughts on him?
Very, very impressive. Now, I will say, on the almost interception, because like it was like they all were fighting for it between him and Javon for the interception. He landed a little awkwardly, but he shook it off. It took a little bit, but he shook it off. He landed a little awkwardly, I'll tell you that. But the kid looks good, better than what I thought. He's definitely not Noah. I'll tell you that.
Was Noah getting a lot of reps today? What did you see from Noah?
I did. I saw Noah get stiff arm and slammed to the ground. By Easy.
Y'all are haters, boy.
I am the biggest Noah hater. I have no problem saying that. Thank you.
So Easy had a beautiful catch. It was like a 30, 40-yard catch. And then he, what the drill is, you got to get the contact. When you're on pads, you take the hits, try to take it to the end zone. Noah decided to be cute, and he was like almost at the end by the touchdown area, and Easy put a spin move on him and shoved him straight to the ground. Noah got up, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" It was a move that like I didn't expect Easy E to do it. You would see like Tyreek or Water to do that move, but he pulled a spin move with a stiff arm, and yeah, no one landed right on his ass. He really did.
David Long had such a big day today. Was it impressive watching David Long live?
Yes, he was very impressive.
Is he as advertised?
100%. Like they were working out at the beginning, and then when they went on the 11-11 drills, he's really good. We just hope he's healthy. You know, we want him to stay healthy. But if that guy's healthy, that is one of the biggest upgrades we've had in the linebacker room in the last couple of years.
Well, Batman, Durham Smythe said that this front seven is the best he's ever seen. Best he's ever went up against and ever seen. What are your thoughts on the front seven as a whole? D-line, linebackers, everybody.
I will say this. Look, obviously it's practice, so they give a little leeway to the offense. But the pressure as far as Zeiler and Wilkins, for most of the 11-11 drills, those are sacks. Those are all sacks. And what they do is that they let the quarterback slide to the left, and Zeiler will stop running towards the quarterback. He'll run past them, and they'll continue the play, and it'll be a pass downfield. But those are all sacks. That D-line, very impressive. I will say this. Who's number 75 on the offensive line? He was playing right tackle today. It wasn't Austin Jackson. It was number 75, and this dude looked like he was getting blown up all practice.
Ain't that Kendall Lamb? I think.
Yeah, Kendall Lamb is 70. 75 is James Tunstall.
Yeah, that guy was getting blown up all practice.
Undrafted rookie free agent.
Yeah,
Aubrey Miller. I got to talk to Aubrey Miller for about 5 minutes.
Tell me about Aubrey. What was Aubrey like? You know,
he looked good in drills. I didn't really get to pay attention too much when he was on the 11-11 because I went down. I went from the bleachers. I went down to the field. But we were talking, and he just says, "I just want an opportunity." That's what he told me. I want an opportunity. Hopefully, he's talking about preseason, and he shows out, and he can get an opportunity. The kid is fast, and Tyndall looks. We know he's fast, right? Tyndall does not look lost. I think me and Lewis heard it about a week ago that Tyndall was showing signs at practice on the low and nobody was talking about. But Tyndall looks pretty good, man. He doesn't look lost. I'll put it that way. He doesn't look lost.
So your takeaways from camp today, were, and you correct me if I'm wrong, were quarterbacks, it was Tua and Mike White looking impressive. Skyler, you don't think had a great day. David Long was a star of the day. Cam Smith was a star of the day. Offensive line was getting blown up. Is that about it? Are those your highlights?
If it was a real play, a real game action, yeah, the O-line would have given up a couple sacks. But they let them play. So obviously when they let them play downfield,
the internet monster got him, Lewis.
Got him.
He didn't like what he was saying.
He's trying to lie on Skylar Thompson. That's what happened.
Trying to lie on Skylar Thompson's name. You know, TD and Pete ain't having it.
It's a bad day. Look, and I'll tell you this, Mike White, again, it's only the second day of open practice. But Mike White, Tua, obviously, yesterday was tearing it up. He was slicing and dicing the whole day. Today, it wasn't as good as yesterday for Tua. But Mike White looked good yesterday. He told me, this man is the number 2 for sure. And today, continuing on that, yeah, Skyler's nowhere to be found. And I don't understand this whole Skyler was showing out. I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. I really don't know.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Are you going to be there for the rest of this week? What do you got going on?
I wish. I got jury duty tomorrow, but if I don't get picked, I'll be there on Friday and Saturday.
All right. Well, I'll be in Canton on Saturday.
Jury duty.
Oh, you're going to Canton? Nice.
I just found out this weekend that I'm going.
Nice. No, I gave TD a lot my tickets for the rest of the week, for today and for tomorrow. He's gonna be there tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He's gonna be out there. I still have extra tickets.
Not getting shut down. TD got shut down. The police came and got him. I heard the Twitter police.
But TD's in a nice spot. It's hard for anybody to get to him because he's all the way in the back.
Hey, Batman.
They found a way. They got to him.
Hey, Batman, real quick before you get out of here, Dade County wants to know: can you and Omar Kelly, are you gonna ever let that beef go?
So Omar Kelly sat next to me pretty much yesterday, and I tagged him. I'm like, I told him you could have said what's up, but you chose not to, and something like that.
I seen it.
And he said, "Oh, everybody was talking." Listen, this man was not paying attention to the damn game, the practice yesterday. He was talking to everybody. As you see, he was turned sideways, drinking his game. That's how he was all practice, and that's a fact.
Batman, let it go,
So
Batman. Let it
Batman,
go,
are
Batman.
you calling Omar Kelly out and telling him what
Let
do
it
you
go.
do? When you say you see something at practice, how would you know? Because you're talking to 30 different people. Is that what you're saying to me?
This man was talking to the people behind him, people next to him, the people walking by. The last thing he was doing, he was looking at the field. It's the last
Batman, let the
You
hate go, Batman.
You won't tell Omar that.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I actually tagged him again today. I'm like, maybe you could say hi today. And I tagged him where I was at. But he hasn't responded yet. But hey, nah, I got no beef with Omar, man. I got no beef with him. I did though. I did.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on, brother. Be good.
Thank you.
All right, Batman.
I love it, man. And it's always interesting. I tell this all the time to people that watch YouTube or watch content creators or hell, even listen to different beat reporters and beat writers, right? And see, today was such a great example of seeing the same thing and having different opinions of what they saw. And so everybody's going to construe something a little bit differently, right, Lewis? Like you and I can look at the same thing and get two different opinions from it or two different points of view from it. And for me, that's something that's really impressive. Jason Sarni is going to be joining us in about 2 minutes, and he's going to let us know what he saw from practice today. He was there at practice live, and then I'm hoping to get TD on too before we get out of here. So Jason will be on. He said he'll be right in. What are some of the things that you see in social media when we're all looking at the same thing? Are you able to decide what's good and what's not good, or is it from the person that is tweeting it or saying it? Do you judge based on who's saying it?
I do judge between who's saying it. Even like Batman. Listen, I love Batman like a brother, right? And I know TD. I've talked to TD. I love TD as well, right? So TD says something about Skylar. He had the best day. Batman says he has a worse day. You know where I take it? He's somewhere in the middle.
It's somewhere in the middle. It's
right?
the latter.
Yeah, exactly. He's not as bad as Batman was saying. He's probably not as great as TD was saying. And that's just how I do it. It is what it is until I see it for myself.
All right, let me bring in our next guest live from training camp. It looks like he's in the car, and I'm going to bring him on right now, my brother from another mother, Mr. Jason Sarni. What's up, Jason?
Steven, I can't put air conditioning on if you want to hear me, so I'll try my best to give you some quality minutes, man.
Just give me your thoughts of training camp today, highs and lows.
The people love their Miami Dolphins, I'll tell you that. Lot of fun action in terms of just fans loving what they were seeing. They love Tua. Huge Tua fans. He was looking good. A couple of nice plays where I saw him roll out, hit Eric Ezekam on a nice, real good-looking play.
Mm-hmm.
It was really hard to take in everything that I wanted to take in, but there's a lot of buzz around this team. More than I've ever felt or seen or witnessed, talking to people. There is a real palpable feeling of massive success on the way. And you could tell there's a swagger on the field too.
So we have conflicting reports from different people who were there. So I just want to get your take out of the quarterback.
That's a shock. Really? Wait, on Twitter?
On social media.
No.
Well, look, Batman said that Skylar had a bad day today. TD said Skylar was the best quarterback on the field today. We believe it's probably somewhere in the middle. Out of the quarterbacks today, who looked good, who didn't look good?
Oh, man. I mean, social media is a funny place, and it's a business to get certain action items done.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, I realized that I was watching the first day of pads and helmets and the second day of fan-allowed practice. We're like in infancy stages of this preseason. So I'm not going to say one thing on a Monday that might look completely different on a Tuesday. I'm going to create a different narrative. I'm not here to create a depth chart right now. And I'm not saying that other people are doing that. I'm just saying that This is a marathon, not a sprint. Rome wasn't built in a day, but this team was built from 2019 till now. And I got to tell you, this is the first year where the 53 is going to be really tough to name. Extremely tough to name, because when in discussion with fans, with people who cover this team, and you're naming people who are 50 through 90 essentially on the roster, years ago you were able to just put the X on their name. You were able to just put the black slash, and it's not the same thing this year. There are going to be people who may not make this team, and they're going to be on other teams really quick. There's good size in this undrafted free agent class. I got a chance to see up close and personal 2 of them from the U, Mitchell Agudi, and one from the U, Mitchell Agudi, and another linebacker, Aubrey Miller Jr. out of Jackson State. These guys look like they're ballers. They have the build. They look like they could be contenders from what I saw in some drills. So those are 2 guys I'm looking for in the undrafted free agent world. And I got to tell you, Steven, can I give you my highlight of camp? I mean, I'm a different cat, so if my highlight's not going to be the same as everyone else's. Michael Turk can punt the ball.
So we saw so all day today I was showing people's highlights and going through people's tweets, and we did elaborate on your tweet about Michael Turk, and Lewis and I had a really good discussion about Michael Turk or Jake Bailey, and it looks like from your point of view, Michael Turk is probably the guy that is in the running to be that guy.
Look, let's take a couple of things with a little bit of a grain of salt, and let's understand that sometimes I like to have a little fun in this world, right?
Yep.
I am aware that Jake Bailey is an all-pro punter, 3 years removed from New England. So there's obviously how could an undrafted rookie come on in and just take this guy's spot that they signed? Well, I counter with, why would they bring in an undrafted free agent punter if they already signed a punter who used to be an all-pro? So when I also add a little bit of spice, no pun intended, to the punter game, Michael Turk is like the Molinas of catching in baseball with punting. He has pedigree from his uncle, his cousin, his father. I think his first relative in punting punted in the Civil War. I'm not sure.
Unbelievable.
But the fact of the matter is, Michael Turk is here to win a job.
And they're out here competing. I like it. Last couple questions I have for you. I want you to elaborate a little bit on David Long and Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Just give me your thoughts on those 2 guys.
David Long, I love the way he drops in coverage. I love it. I'm a really, really big fan of what he can do from what I've seen minimally so far. Eyewitness for me, I saw a couple of reps from him specifically, and I like what I see in that aspect of the game. I did not see a ton of Cam Smith individual reps. I saw workouts on that side of the field when I was there from Cam Smith. I have nothing glowing nor negative. I just don't have enough info on my eyewitness.
Well, I can tell you on social media. I can tell you on social media today, Cam Smith and David Long were the top 2 names across the board.
Good, because there was a number of things, throughout doing this process. I'm not up to speed on other people's eyewitnesses account, and if I was on the north side, I don't know what was going on the south side. So I'll do my best. But yes, David Long looks like he's here to make an impact on this team. And so I had a chance to go right up to him. I said, "Hey, David, can we get a fins up?" And then he smiled. And I'm like, and then he's like, "Oh, fins up." So I'm like, "You're getting it, David."
He didn't process it yet. He didn't process it. He's learning.
No, he did.
He's learning.
He was ready to roll, but we needed the audio. We needed the fins up audio, not the $1 million smile. So we're working, but David Long's a good get.
Last thing I have for you, man. Dolphins Weekly, the weekly newsletter you got is one of the hottest things in the community right now. Promote that. Tell people where they can find it, and what do you got coming up?
Well, I really appreciate that, Stephen. It means a lot to me. It's really a passion project that goes kind of just beyond that. It's just really something that I take a lot of joy and pride in. And mixed with the Dolphin community, which is, to me, it's family. And that's part of it. I would love this community to come together. And this was kind of the connective tissue idea. A couple of people kind of helped out and putting out into the universe. So you could find it on my Twitter handle. It's Dolphins Weekly. and then you can go catch the QR code, whether if you see that floating around on certain things or if you go to GoDaddy on the link that's on my bio in Twitter. All you got to do is just subscribe, name, email. It's 100% free, and there's a lot of fun things that we're going to be bringing to the table this season.
Hey, breaking news. Colts running back Zach Moss broke his arm at practice today and is expected to miss 6 weeks minimum.
I wonder if that's going to set off a tidal wave of running back rumors.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. It'll be interesting. All right, Jason, you there the rest of this week? Are you there tomorrow at training camp?
I am there tomorrow, and then I head back home, and then going to sleep and get some rest to start my trek to Canton, Ohio for Zach Thomas induction. I hear you're going.
I'm going, baby.
Let's go.
I'm excited, man.
Let's go.
I'm going to be there on Saturday, all day Saturday. We get in at like 4 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, man. Don't wake me up then. Just give me a text at around like high noon.
Yeah, we get in we're driving up from West Virginia. So, West by
Safe
God,
travels.
Virginia. Yeah, we're going to spend the night and then actually I say that we're probably going to get to where we're supposed to be at 3 and 3 or 4, and then we're supposed to probably get to Canton at like 8 or 9. So we'll see what happens.
Works. We will be there.
All right, brother. I love you, man. Tomorrow I want to hear from you again about training camp. Come on again.
1,000%. Give me a text and we'll rock and roll.
Sounds good, brother. Love you, man. Be
Good
good,
job.
Jason.
Later, Jason.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Jason gave the politically correct answer on the quarterback situation there.
Yeah,
he didn't give us the answer. He gave us the politically correct answer. I like it. Look, I think that's the thing that, you as fans have to decide for yourself about whether it's David Long or the offensive lineman or the quarterbacks. You got to see what the consensus is. And the consensus today, from what I heard, was a really good day for the defense again.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense had a lot of highlights and a lot of bright spots. There were some things that need to be cleaned up. Now, what I will say is, with the team that's under $10 million, a little under $10 million available in salary cap, and seeing how things will be, I don't know what they do about the offensive line situation. Because if people, they get blown up and keep getting blown up, they got to make a change, right? You have to be able, what do we look for over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, before they say, you know what, this isn't working out, or this is?
I mean, it's hard though, Steven, because I don't think Terron Armstead is going to practice a lot at training camp. I don't think he's going to get any preseason rep. And we all know
reps.
When Armstead's on the field, that offensive line looks a lot better. So, I would give it some time. Again, people panicking about the offensive line. I'm not gonna be there yet. Is it a concern? Yes, but panic mode, no. And hell, if Durham Smythe is out here saying that the Dolphins have the best front seven he's ever seen, then maybe the offensive line ain't that bad. I mean, they're just going against an elite defensive line. So, hopefully they get better. But I'm not ready to jump off jump off a bridge or anything.
Okay,
yet.
well, that's fair. That's fair, and I just wanted to get your take on that. Sad news from pop culture. Paul Rubens, the actor who played Pee Wee Herman, passed away, 70 years old, from cancer today.
Really?
Pee Wee Herman. Yep. Paul Rubens passed away. R.I.P. man. All right, man. Let's get your final thoughts. What is your big takeaways from today, and what are your final thoughts of today?
Final thoughts, biggest takeaway, I had a blast being up here.
This is fun, right?
It was fun. I'm not sure, people wanted to see my ugly face for 3 hours.
Yeah,
but
they did. Yeah, they did. Guys, hit the like button if you like Lewis's today. We're at 82 likes. We'll see how many more likes we get. Maybe they already hit the like button. Maybe those 82 people hit the like button because they like you, Lewis, over me. That could be it. You might have already gotten all the likes. Can't even use that as a barometer.
I seriously doubt that. But final thoughts, again, it was an absolute pleasure being up here, Steven. I can't wait to keep doing this every Monday. And
we'll make sure we get started at 9:30. But we also had great content up until 1:00 today. It was a lot of training camp coverage, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think from all reports, the first 3-4 days of training camp, we should all just be excited. That's my final thought, because this team is really, really going to do some good things this year. I strongly believe that, and that's all we wanted. We've been asking for this, clamoring for this for 20 plus years, and now we're here. We have arrived. It's the Dolphins' year, and with that being said, man, fins up to everybody.
All right. Here's what I know. Tomorrow is Tuesday. There will not be a morning show tomorrow. And the reason there's not going to be a morning show tomorrow is because my daughter got selected to be in a baseball. She plays baseball locally here, and there's a minor league baseball team for the Orioles called the Aberdeen Ironbergs. And so she got selected as a participant to be trained by the minor leaguers tomorrow in the morning at the stadium. So she's going to be one of 40 kids that are going through hitting drills and catching drills and fielding drills with the minor league players tomorrow at the stadium. So I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, I'll be watching her. I'll be there live watching her. So tomorrow you won't see me in the morning, but I'm probably going to do an afternoon show, or somewhat of an afternoon show, with DJ Genesis. It'll be an abbreviated afternoon show, so be on the lookout for it. I won't leave you all hanging tomorrow. I'll have an abbreviated something. And worst case scenario, if it all doesn't work out, Wilding Out Wednesdays here the next day after that. So we'll be good.
Chaos.
Utter and total chaos, man. Guys, be on the lookout for everything. I want to give a big shout out to Jason Sarni and Batman for coming on. Give a big shout out to everybody who tweeted it today, from TD Fins Talk to Omar Kelly to, Daniel Yafusi. All the tweets today were very helpful in bringing in this amazing content today. The people that were there. It was a lot of fun today, and this is what, training camp is all about. And that's what we're going to do. So every morning here, with the exception of tomorrow, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network, Clock Blockers is going to bring you great training camp coverage from here till the rest of training camp. So make sure you guys tune in. Tell the people, hey, look, you want the best training camp coverage? Go to Steven. He's not going to get shut down like TD, okay? Love TD. Sorry, you got shut down, buddy. But yes, and I'll try to be unbiased and try to give you everybody's view, from TD's to Omar's to Jason's to Safi Dean's and Daniel Yafusi's and everybody's, all the fans that are there. If you guys tweet or are there live, I'll bring you on. I want to hear everybody's point of view and everybody's coverage from it, because I think that will give you the best. So let people know that Clock Blockers is doing the best training camp coverage for the Miami Dolphins this year. We got it. Lewis, you'll be back next week on Monday, right?
Back next week on Monday. Man, I'm always around. Maybe a little bit tomorrow, maybe Wednesday for Wilding Out Wednesday.
I know you here for Wilding Out Wednesday. We got to get Dade County on and let him, do whatever he's
doing. I think Dade County just fine where he was at all day today in the chat. Just let him stay down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
No reason to have that guy come up here and spew that nonsense. Let him stay down there and learn something, and he'll be fine.
Hey, if you enjoyed the content today, please donate to the channel and help the channel grow. If everybody who watched right now donated at least $1, it would go such a long way into helping the channel grow. It's a big deal. Please support your local YouTube content creators for putting on this content each and every day. I want to bring you guys great coverage. So if you guys are able to donate, only if you're able to, even $1 helps. It goes such a long way. You can donate on Cash App, PayPal. The link is in the description below. Or you can donate on YouTube using the live super chat feature or the live super sticker. Whatever it is you do, it goes such a long way. If you're not able to donate, that's fine too. Then share the link. Let people know about this show. Say, hey, look, man, there's this Clock Blocker show. He's a pretty awesome guy. He's not so easy on the eyes, but he's got a voice. He's got a great voice. Look here now. I got that voice. Okay. So I definitely want to hear from you guys, and we'll keep it up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to the Fins Tailgate.
Check us out. Me and Shake going live today, 6 p.m.
All right, Shake Money in the building. Baby. Make sure you guys go check out those guys. I love y'all. Y'all the best. We'll see y'all tomorrow right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Peace.
Peace.
Now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column. Whole squad been trained to go. Fence for life, we throw the foe. Singing this just a welcome, bro. Two a time, two a time.